Hello, everyone. Welcome along to our live watch along for the Australia Cup round of 32, match day 3. 4 huge games tonight. We are here to watch all of the action. It is getting underway right now as we speak. I've got the multi-screen set up. I'm sure you guys too. I've got the screens rolling here as we're trying to keep an eye on all the action tonight. We've got 3 A-League teams featuring, and the main game that is on Paramount Plus that we are especially keeping an eye on is Preston Lions taking on Newcastle Jets. The game that was also just kicked off is Perth Glory against Lions FC. Later tonight, Cumberland United taking on Heidelberg United. And also later on, it's going to be a big one. We've got Bayswater City taking on Sydney FC. So a lot to keep an eye on tonight. G'day to Valhoon, who's jumping in first in the live chat. G'day to you, mate. Hope you're doing well. So the clock that we're going to have running here, folks, is going to track the Preston Lions Newcastle Jets game, which has literally just got underway. Here we go. So the Perth Glory Lions game is underway, and also keeping an eye on Preston Lions Newcastle Jets. That is the main game we are watching, and we'll keep you guys up to date with all the action tonight. How are you going? Jump in the live chat. What are your predictions for tonight's games? Will we see any cup sets? 3 A-League teams in action tonight. It's always exciting seeing the A-League teams featuring in the cup. It's our first look at the A-League teams for the new season. So I would love to hear from you guys as well in regards to the lineups. You know, some interesting lineups for some of the A-League teams especially. A few debuts. The likes of Alex Grant, who's making his debut for Newcastle Jets tonight. And of course, this Preston Lions Newcastle Jets game is really standing out as a big game, because you've got Preston Lions, who are a big team from NPL Victoria, and Newcastle Jets, the reigning cup winners from 2025. Preston Lions looking to get on the attack early in this game as well. I mean, could they cause the cup set against the reigning cup winners? Cross comes in, away by Wilmering. Not the most convincing clearance. Preston Lions are causing a little bit of chaos for Newcastle Jets early on here. And the Jets managed to get it away for a goal kick in the end. Great to see. Blink is here. Lightning's here as well. Mohammed in the live chat. Welcome, everyone. Aaron Kunda Sporting, yes, that's a big one that we've just saw come up today, hey, in the media. Aaron Kunda linked with another club. And it would be it would be a really good move for him if it does come through. It feels like everyone's just interested in Nestori Aaron Kunda as well. There you go. Lightning highlighting says, in the comments of your predictions, that's right, we did the predictions video last week for the round of 32. Says I've gotten both correct, -1 scoreline. Good on you, Lightning. I mean, we've gotten a couple really entertaining games so far last week. Tuesday night, Wednesday night. A bunch of NPL matchups. Even teams from some of the lower divisions as well. And some teams from the second tier in Victoria. Brunswick Juventus got a win against Marlon Coast Rangers. And tonight, this is the first night of the Australia Cup for this year where we've got A-League teams in action. Dude, Preston Lions are looking really up for this. We are just a couple minutes in, and they've gotten into Newcastle Jets penalty area on already a handful of occasions. This is a bit of a nervy start for Newcastle Jets. Looks like a fantastic turnout, of course. Down there as Preston Lions are hosting this contest. Thanks, everyone, for joining us for this live stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've been enjoying all the World Cup action. The World Cup is wrapped up. Of course, the big final yesterday. Spain taking out the trophy. And now all the focus, at least for us here, and I'm sure for a lot of you guys as well, turns to the Australia Cup. We love this competition, man. It's such a unique competition in Australia, at least. So I don't know what would love to hear from you guys. What in the live chat? What's your screen setup right now for these games tonight? I've got a couple screens in front of me, so I'm watching the 2 games that are live right now. That is Preston Lions, Newcastle Jets. That's the one that our clock down here is following. But I'm also watching Lions FC Perth Glory. And I believe in about half an hour, Cumberland United and Heidelberg United will be getting underway. And then in about an hour's time, Bayswater City, Sydney FC. So this is a bit of a hectic cup night because not only do we have 4 games, but we have games kicking off at different times. So it's pretty crazy. Our prediction for the Western Sydney Wanderers game tomorrow. In my predictions video, I said Wanderers win, and I'm sticking with that. Wanderers tomorrow taking on Tigers FC, the lone participant from the ACT in the round of 32. Lightning is backing a South Melbourne win over Adelaide. Lightning is a South Melbourne fan, for those who don't know. Look, I think South Melbourne certainly have a chance. In my predictions video, I called South Melbourne to win. Like, South Melbourne just have a lot of big game experience in recent times. Obviously, in the OFC Premier League and the... sorry, not OFC Premier League, OFC Pro League. And in the Oz Championship as well. Of course, South Melbourne won the Oz Championship last year. So, I feel like they could really take on Adelaide United. When's that game? Next week. Perth Glory are on the attack in their game. It's a debut for Henry Hoare, and he's teed up Taggart, who's forced a good save out of Lions FC's goalkeeper, Perth Glory, in action tonight as well. Henry Hoare making his starting debut for Perth Glory, signing from Brisbane Roar. Welcome, everyone. Hit the like button to support the channel. You can also consider sending in a super chat to support us here. Blinkus says, I'm watching Lions v Perth for now with this channel too. Says switch to Sydney FC match later. That's right. It's in just under an hour. Sydney FC will be kicking off their Australia Cup campaign against Bayswater City from Western Australia. I tell you what, Preston Lions continuing to look threatening on the attack. So a good shot on target a moment ago for Perth Glory, Adam Taggart, with an effort on goal, straight at the goalkeeper. Lions FC from Queensland, taking on Perth Glory. Funnily enough, we have had, I mentioned this in my predictions video last week, we have had a matchup between Lions FC and Perth Glory in the Australia Cup before. They met like 10 years ago or something. Perth Glory winning on that occasion. Corner in for Preston. Great chance for them as well. That was very close for Preston from the corner. A little bit of chaos there in the penalty area for Jets, who have made a little bit of a nervous start to this game. Of course, we're very interested to keep an eye on Newcastle Jets, not only the reigning Cup winners, but of course the reigning A-League premiers. Big campaign coming up for Newcastle Jets. How do they maintain this success? And of course, 3 competitions this year for Newcastle Jets. Australia Cup starts tonight. Asian Champions League Elite starts in September. And then, of course, the A-League season getting underway in October. Blinker says, Hoare is an underrated signing for Glory, in my opinion. Decent player. Yeah, on his day, a very, very good player. So I think it's a great pickup for Perth Glory. I think they needed some quality in the wide positions. So I think it's a smart signing for Glory. There's a player who's currently receiving a bit of treatment for Lions FC. So there's a slight delay in that game. Newcastle Jets finally starting to work their way into this game. Down the right-hand side. Cross is cleared away for a throw. So, debut tonight for Newcastle Jets for Nikos Virgos, signing over from Melbourne Victory. He starts tonight for Newcastle Jets. No Joe Lolly. That's another big piece of news for the Jets tonight. I'm not sure whether there was an expectation that Lolly would feature tonight, but Joe Lolly not in the team sheet at all tonight for Newcastle Jets. Joe Lolly coming over from Sydney FC. But Alex Grant, who also signed from Sydney FC at Newcastle Jets. Grant is starting tonight. Alex Grant, that signing was just announced a couple of days ago. He's straight into the starting 11. And those are the 2 debuts tonight for Newcastle Jets, but much of that 11 are regulars that we saw feature last season. Max Burgess in the middle of the park wearing the captain's armband for Newcastle tonight. Dobson, Burton, Cello, Clough, Nunes. Of course, Newcastle Jets, they've had a lot of key departures as well, with the likes of Clayton Taylor, Eli Adams, Lockie Bayliss departing. Tangiers asks thoughts on the mighty Reds signing Brissett. Great signing. Great signing. He was underutilised at Brisbane Roar. I'm confused as to why Jacob Brissett didn't get more game time last year at Brisbane Roar. He's been there for the last couple of years now. But last year, he just didn't really get much of a look in. So I think it's a good signing for the Reds. And they needed to make a signing. Adelaide, they lost Yaya Dakuli. He's moved overseas. So Jacob Brissett, dangerous wide player. I think it's a good signing. Thoughts on Ferran Torres' winning goal against Argentina? Cracking strike. Smashed it home. Hard to stop if you're a goalkeeper. And Spain, I think they were deserved winners in the end. Oh, dude, worth highlighting, of course, as well. Of course, in goals for Preston Lions tonight. How about that? I just realised that now. In goals for Preston Lions tonight is Ryan Scott. Ryan Scott, former Newcastle Jets goalkeeper. How about that? Playing his former side in the Cup. What are the chances? Preston Lions, they're way down the right-hand side. This is a huge chance for Preston. They're in the box. The cross comes in. And the strike, the contact just wasn't there. It wasn't the cleanest contact. But, ladies and gentlemen, over 10 minutes into this game, the clock that we've got ticking away here is following the Preston Lions Newcastle Jets game. And the Victorian side here, Preston Lions, are certainly looking like the better team early on here. Newcastle Jets a little bit rusty to start this game. Braden Goddard, welcome, mate. Thoughts on Milanovic returning to Wanderers? Well, nothing officially announced yet, has there been? I don't think there's been anything official. There's been reports in the media. There's been things bouncing around online. I don't think we've got an official announcement just yet. But it could happen. And if it does happen, I think it's a great move for Wanderers. And I think it's probably a smart move for Nick Milanovic, who just, unfortunately, just didn't have the best time in Aberdeen last year. So, for Milanovic to return to Wanderers, get some minutes, I think it'd be a great move for everyone involved. For Milanovic to return to Wanderers, as a long-range shot from Dobson sails well wide of the goal. Will Dobson, good season last year. Key player for the Jets. Who do you think will be in the final? Dude, that's always the trickiest one to predict. I mean, we can talk about A-League predictions and all that, but that's why we love the Australia Cup, man. It's like, it's so hard to predict cup competitions because of the nature of the competition, so... Especially, I mean, I'll definitely have a clearer prediction after the round of 32 wraps up in regards to which team is really looking good. Dobson with a chance for the Jets, edge of the box. Zach Clough on the left. Preston managed to clear it away. Meanwhile, there was a shot on target a moment ago for Lions FC. Lions taking on Perth Glory tonight. Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. We are keeping an eye on all the Australia Cup action. 4 games underway. As you can see here, 0-0 between Preston Lions and Newcastle Jets. Lions FC Perth Glory also underway. It's 0-0. Later tonight, Cumberland United taking on Heidelberg United. Heidelberg United, of course, finalists from last year. So very curious to see how Heidelberg go tonight. And then later this evening, Bayswater City versus Sydney FC. We are staying live for all of the action tonight, folks, so we'd love for you to stick around for the next couple hours. Preston Lions, again, looking dangerous. Shot from range. Again, that's well wide. A couple long-range shots for both sides. Preston Lions and Newcastle Jets, and nowhere near the target just yet. Good signing for South Melbourne, Paolo Retre. Yeah, Lightning. Good signing. Got a player there with a whole lot of A-League experience. Paolo Retre was at Wellington last year. Few debuts tonight. We're keeping an eye on obviously all the lineups tonight, and there's some debuts. But yeah, a few debuts for Perth Glory as well tonight. Matthew Dench starting at left back. It's Dench and Henry Hoare who came over from Brisbane Roar to join Perth Glory, and they both start tonight. And how about that? They're straight back over to Queensland to take on Lions FC for Perth's first game of the season. No other debuts in that starting 11 for Perth Glory. They've got a pretty strong bench tonight as well, Perth Glory. New signing Lockie Jackson on the bench. He's come over from Melbourne Victory. Here come the Jets. Wilmering down the left. Cross to the edge of the box, and that shot is wide from Nunez. But it's good to see that the Jets are starting to get back into this game a little bit here. Preston Lions looking really promising in the early moments. Oh, a bit of a mix-up at the back here. Here's a chance for Lions. There's a collision there. What's going on here? The whistle's been blown. There was a collision at the back between, I think it was Labib and goalkeeper Matt Sutton. Corner coming up for Lions FC. They are looking for a cup set tonight. Worth highlighting, folks. Perth Glory were eliminated by an NPL Queensland opposition just 2 years ago. It was Moreton City Excelsior back in 2024. Perth Glory lost. That was the round of 16 a couple of years ago. So, can Lions do it here? Can they defeat Perth Glory? Lions, let's keep an eye on this corner. They're going short. They're working it well. The cross comes in, and the header is on target, but straight into the hands of Sutton. But some positive signs for Lions FC. And Newcastle Jets have just found the back of the net as I turn my head. And the Jets take the lead against Preston Lions. We've got the first goal of the evening, folks. It's the Newcastle Jets. High fives all around. The reigning cup winners are on the board for 2026. And it's Will Dobson with a really tidy finish. Up the Jets, says Lightning. Great goal. Great goal. Good finish. Will Dobson has just scored. Newcastle Jets lead. First goal of the evening, folks. It just fell to him. It fell to him on the edge of the box. Preston Lions, they had a lot of defenders back there in the box. They were trying to keep things compact at the back. But there was a pocket of space on the edge of the penalty area, and Will Dobson has just found the back of the net. 1-0 to Newcastle. An important goal as well, because Preston Lions were showing some really good signs early in this match. So how did Preston respond after conceding early here? Thanks for jumping on the live stream tonight, everyone. Welcome along. Australia Cup, round of 32. It's match day 3. Tan Lee's here. G'day to you, mate. Says, I hope Wanderers do better this season. Yeah, man. Keen to see how Wanderers go tomorrow against Tigers FC. Troy, g'day to you, my man. Troy says, hey, Lockie, good to have some Australia Cup action back. Indeed, Troy. We love the Australia Cup. It's always great, especially to see A-League teams in action for the first time this season. We've got 3 A-League teams that we are watching tonight. Perth Glory and the Jets are underway. Sydney FC in action later this evening as well. Nathan's joining us in the live chat as well. Good day to you, Nathan. Welcome along. Hollywood Jets, says Valhoon. G'day, Hamish. So, thoughts on the Mariners' new owners? Well, if you want my full thoughts, I put up a video on the Coast Watch Football channel, the dedicated Mariners channel. So if anyone's interested, you can check out Coast Watch Football. I did a full video talking about it a couple weeks ago. But, I mean, great to have the new owners finally announced and coming in and obviously helping keep the club alive, which is important. A huge disappointment, though, of course, with the women's team not being included in the takeover. Extremely concerning. And look, hopefully that does get sorted out. We don't have any official announcement yet in regards to the Mariners women's team. We are hoping that we hear something soon. Wilmering, good cross for the Jets. Oh my goodness me, what a save from Ryan Scott, who has just denied Burton Shello from close range. Great chance for the Jets there. But yeah, again, with the Mariners ownership situation there, just to go back to that question, happy obviously with the new owners coming in and finally being announced, but extremely disappointed as a Mariners fan. The women's team was not included, and hopefully that does get sorted out. So, Newcastle Jets were very, very close a moment ago. Great play down the left-hand side, and Wilmering. That was a great ball. Great delivery. And Burton Shello just denied there. So Newcastle Jets are really starting to get into their groove now, after Preston made a promising start to this match tonight. The Newcastle Jets have started to take control. We're also keeping an eye on Lions FC Perth Glory, 0-0 in that game. A couple of shots on target. Both teams have had efforts on target so far tonight. Adam Taggart with a good early chance, straight to the goalkeeper. Here come Perth Glory. Let's keep an eye on this attack. Henry Hoare has it on this left-hand side. Adam Taggart is central. Good challenge at the back. Good defence there, Lions. Lions FC, one of the top teams in NPL Queensland, have got some good experience in the Australia Cup as well. So will we get a cup set tonight? That is the big question. Will we get a cup set? Lions FC, they've showed some decent signs in the opening 20 minutes as Preston Lions have coming forward too, and it's cleared away for a throw. A lot to keep an eye on tonight. I'd love that lining, yeah. South Melbourne Mariners Cup final. That'd be a cracker. Other games on 10 or Paramount Plus? Asked Tarnley a moment ago. There's the main game, which tonight is Preston Lions and Newcastle Jets, is on Paramount Plus. All the other games, I believe, are on YouTube and 10 Play, or whatever they call it now, the Channel 10 app, you know. But they're on YouTube. The three other games they do so that again with all the cup match days where there's multiple games on, there is one game that is on Paramount Plus exclusively, and tonight that is Preston Lions, Newcastle Jets, and then all the other games are on YouTube, which is cool. Chance for Preston. That's a shot on target. It is straight at James Delianov. Blinkus earlier as well says Mariners have a tough match. Sydney United have been doing okay in the NPL. They have indeed. I think that's third at the moment in the NPL New South Wales. So big test tomorrow for the Mariners. Troy also says you'd think, back to that ownership situation. You'd think they won't like why they invest. Otherwise, it's they go hand in hand. Yeah, not impressed. Exactly right. Like it shouldn't be a separate situation. If you're taking over the club, it should be everyone involved. You know what I mean? And yes, to answer that question from Yep in the live chat a moment ago, that's right. Yeah, so the Preston Jets game exclusively on Paramount Plus. Good cross from Wilmering. Vergos on the edge of the box. That's a good finish. Newcastle Jets have just taken a 2-goal lead, folks. 2-goal lead. Nikos Vergos has just scored his first goal for Newcastle Jets. Vergos in this city, in Melbourne. He was playing his club football there last year with Melbourne Victory. Vergos. He's made the move to the Premiers. Newcastle Jets. And Nikos Vergos has taken just 22 minutes to score his first Newcastle Jets goal. And it was a lovely finish too. And again, very similar to Dobson's goal. Just it falls to him on the edge of the box. And it's a very composed finish. Nothing spectacular, but a really neat finish there. There you go. So, 2-goal lead for the Jets. Brilliant start. Brilliant start for the reigning cup winners. Tan Lee asks, who do you think have the best transfers so far? I think Newcastle's window has been very good. I think while they have lost some top players, Joe Lolly, Vergos, who's just scored. Alex Grant who is starting tonight in defence. Great signings for the Jets. So, yeah, great signings. To be fair, there's still a bunch of teams that haven't been very active. Like City have only made one signing. I think we'll see a lot more from Victory. I do like some of Victory signings, actually. Those experienced centre-backs. Tom Lockyer coming in. Philip Zarace as well. But Newcastle Jets are the team that stand out for me in regards to top signings. I just think those signings of Grant, of Lolly, of Virgos. Good signings. Good day, Sam. Good to see you here, mate. Troy also said, says, move over Adelaide. The Jets are coming for your record. G'day, Thomas. Gunner for life in the live chat says, wait, has Pat Beach left Melbourne? Yes. Yes, it was announced a few days ago. Pat Beach going to Troyes, French club. Very exciting move for Pat Beach, and hopefully he's a regular starter there. Sam says, good to see Virgos off to a good start. Just took him 22 minutes, didn't it? Sam, for those who don't know, Sam, member of the channel here, joining us. He's a Newcastle Jets fan, and Newcastle Jets, great start, 2-0 after 25 minutes, folks. The clock that we have ticking along down here that you can see, this clock right here is following the Preston Lions Newcastle Jets game. That is the main game, which is exclusively on Paramount Plus tonight. But of course, right now as well is also Perth Glory taking on Lions FC. So there's a lot to keep an eye on tonight, folks. And well, I guess this might be a handy stream for anyone who wants to keep an eye. Well, not an eye, but wants to stay up to date in regards to all of the action tonight. We'll be staying live for the following games as well. Cumberland United are taking on Heidelberg United, and that game is about to get underway. And then in just over half an hour, Bayswater City versus Sydney FC. Our first look at Sydney FC for the new season. Alrighty. Thomas says, for some reason, I saw that Adam Taggart in Perth's lineup, he's been put in defensive midfield. Yes, that is certainly incorrect. I did see that as well. Yeah, on the broadcast, that is definitely not where Taggart is playing. Sometimes the lineups they show on the broadcast aren't what we actually see on the field of play. And of course, Adam Taggart, as always, is leading the line tonight for Perth Glory. A couple debutants tonight in the starting 11 for Perth Glory, Matt Dench and Henry Hoare starting on the left-hand side for Glory. 0-0 in that game. Seemed to be pretty evenly matched so far. Possession stats, 55% for Perth, 45% for Lions. Worth mentioning is another debutant as well that I missed. Lucas Shakluna is starting tonight for Perth Glory. Former Newcastle Jets player, Lucas Shakluna. He is starting tonight for the first time for Perth Glory. So a bunch of new signings that we are keen to keep an eye on tonight to see how they fare at their new clubs. Newcastle Jets, they've got the 2-goal lead and are really starting to look a little bit more comfortable now. Again, folks, those first 5-10 minutes, Jets looked a bit nervy. Preston Lions were getting into the penalty area and were causing a little bit of chaos. But Jets settled into the game. They've got themselves on the ball and they've scored twice, which is huge. Good pass from Dobson. Here comes the Jets again. Yeah, it's a bit of a shaky cross there from Burton Cello. And Preston will clear this. Meanwhile, doesn't look like Perth have had too many clear-cut chances in their game. Adam Taggart with a shot on target early on, but we're almost half an hour into the 2 games so far, and Perth haven't had too many top chances. Football Oz, yeah, man, I remember watching that game actually. That the Fraser Park, they were taking on the Sydney Olympic, weren't they? It was a narrow loss in the end. Thoughts on the World Cup final, Sam? Spain deserved to win, that's for sure. I mean, it's incredible looking at the stats by the end of the game. Hey, in the World Cup final, I mean, Spain just dominating in just about every statistic, and Argentina only had a couple of shots at goal after 2 hours of football, which is quite incredible. So it was a dominant display for Spain, and they deserved to win in the end. And you look at Spain's run overall, they were fantastic. So deserved winners. And now all the focus turns to the Australia Cup with the World Cup wrapping up. Jets are on the attack once again. Can they find goal number 3? It's going to be a corner. They're looking good. They're looking good, Newcastle. Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. Welcome along. This is our first Australia Cup live stream for this year. Of course, we've been doing a bunch of Australia Cup live watch-alongs over the last few years or so, and it's always fun, and it's always crazy, because it's different, right? Because we're watching 4 games at once. Well, it will be shortly 4 games at once. Cumberland United taking on Heidelberg United. That game will be getting underway right now as we speak, so we'll be keeping an eye on that one as well. But I will not be watching that one live. I know in the broadcast they will cut to that if there are any goals or big chances. Here come the Jets. Cross blocked again. Corner again. So if anyone is watching the Cumberland United Heidelberg United game, feel free to jump in the live chat and give us some updates, because I'm running out of screens here. Actually, no, I've got another screen. I've got my phone. How about that? We're all rocking... All of us here tonight, we're rocking the multi-screen setups as we are trying to keep an eye on all of the action tonight across the Australia Cup. And we're going to have a 4th game kicking off in about half an hour. 4th game. Later on, it's going to be Sydney FC taking on Bayswater City. Bayswater City play their club football in Western Australia, of course. And goodness me, we've already got a goal between Heidelberg United and Cumberland United. Heidelberg United have taken the lead after 60 seconds. I've just pulled up the stream and there's celebrations because Heidelberg United, finalists from last year, have found the back of the net in a matter of seconds. Oh my goodness me. Chaos. It's 1-0 to Heidelberg. And the game's just gotten underway. Wow. Okay, so we've already got 3 goals tonight. We love it. Absolutely love it. Whole lot of action going on right now, folks. I've got 2,000 screens in front of me, it feels like. But Heidelberg United, who of course, we will never forget that incredible run from Heidelberg United last year all the way through to the final, where they did lose to Newcastle Jets. Heidelberg United have taken the lead after just 60 seconds or so. Great strike in the penalty area on that right-hand side. So Heidelberg lead 1-0. That's a disastrous start for Cumberland United, the side from South Australia. Across a lot of the states, 4 different states in action tonight, folks. 4 different states. Queensland, Victoria, South Australia, and in half an hour, there's going to be a game getting underway in Western Australia. All right, what do we say in the live chat? Troy, member of the channel, says, someone tell Newcastle's kit guy they aren't the Bulldogs. Tan Lee also says, in my opinion, that was the worst World Cup final. Argentina had no shots till the 118th minute. Yeah, it's pretty incredible, isn't it? Troy says, watching you on my phone while watching the game on Xbox Microsoft Edge Internet. There you go. Thanks for joining us, as always, Troy. All right, Nicholas. Nicholas asks, are you worried about Central Coast Mariners next season? I wouldn't say I'm worried. I'm curious to see how this next season plays out for the Mariners. Very youthful squad so far. Mariners have announced a number of new signings. So many of them have been very, very young players. So it's no surprise that Mariners are going for sort of, looking to recruit young players. As Lions, let's come back to that, because Lions parried shots and it goes wide for a corner. That was a great chance for Lions there. I'm going to free kick coming up for the Jets as well. But yeah, man, curious to see how the season goes for the Mariners. Hopefully we make some more experienced signings. I think that's what we're lacking right now. If you guys are keen to check out my Mariners fan channel, it's called Coast Watch Football. So I run that channel all myself. If you guys want to see me talk about the Central Coast Mariners, you can check out Coast Watch Football. Shout out to Troy. Thanks for that, man. Just gifted a membership. Really appreciate that. We've just recently launched memberships on the channel. That free kick for Jets has sailed out for a corner. But yeah, just a few weeks ago, we launched memberships. You can see a few members joining us tonight. Troy, Tan Lee, Sam's here in the live chat as well. And there you go. We've got Lockie914, who has just received a gift membership from Troy. Troy, thanks very much for that, mate. Really appreciate it. Troy's been a long-time viewer of the channel here and fellow Mariners fan, of course, Troy. So Zach Clough's corner, outswinger towards Grant, but it's headed away. Lions FC have a corner as well, so let's keep an eye on that one. Floated in, misses everyone. Dude, I tell you what, I mean, we're trying to keep an eye on all the action, but it looks like Lions FC are almost looking like the better side between them and Perth Glory. Like, I haven't seen many clear-cut chances for Perth. Lions, we'll keep an eye on the stats in a moment, because I feel like Lions have actually had more shots. Well, they've just shown the corner stats. Lions have had 4 corners. Perth Glory have had 0. So Lions dominating with the corners. Have we just had a second goal? Oh my gosh, Heidelberg United are up 2-0. Oh my gosh, what is going on in South Australia right now? Because Heidelberg United, the finalists from last year, have found the back of the net again. It's 2-0 to Heidelberg. That's right, Blinkus says Lions creating the better chances so far. 4 corners to 0. Maybe a little bit of a shaky start for A-League side Perth Glory here. Who are just maybe struggling to get into their groove. So, it's goals galore already tonight. Newcastle Jets lead 2-0 over Preston Lions. Heidelberg United have a 2-goal lead over Cumberland United. And that game is only, 7 minutes in. And Heidelberg already lead 2-0. What a start for last year's finalists. Here's a chance for the Jets. Zach Clough is away. Good defending. Good defending, Preston. A lot to keep an eye on tonight, folks. 4 games. Bayswater City, Sydney FC. That game kicks off in about 20 minutes. Bayswater City, aside from NPL West Australia. 2 goals in 6 minutes. That's right, Tana. Yeah, crazy. Heidelberg United, man. They are seemingly up for this. Up for the cup once again. It was a truly magical run that Heidelberg United went on last year. Defeating the likes of Western Sydney Wanderers, of Auckland FC, getting all the way through to... who else did they defeat? Auckland FC, Wanderers, they defeated another A-League opponent, didn't they? They just forced it home in the end. It was, in fact, it's Nico Duarte who scored that second goal there for Heidelberg United. Nico Duarte on loan from Central Coast Mariners has just scored for Heidelberg. So, there you go. There you go. Oh boy. All right, what else are we saying in the live chat as well? Yeah, thanks for that, Troy, who says you're welcome, mate. Look forward to tomorrow night's game 2, of course. I'm feeling good about it. Not listening to the naysayers. We have another legend as our coach too, of course. Yes, first game in charge for new head coach John Hutchinson at Central Coast Mariners tomorrow. Mariners play Sydney United 58, a highly anticipated game for everyone. For neutrals, I think. It should be a cracking game. The Sydney United are top side, man. As a Mariners fan, you got to acknowledge Sydney United 58. They're having a good season in NPL New South Wales. They've got A-League experience in their side. Jets looking for goal number 3. They're on the attack as we speak. What a start it has been for Heidelberg United, who have a 2-goal lead after 9 minutes over Cumberland United. Meanwhile, it remains scoreless between Lions FC and Perth Glory. But folks, every time I look over to my left, Lions FC are in possession and are looking pretty comfortable. So I'll tell you what, if you're a Perth Glory fan, you may be slightly concerned by this start for Glory. A few debutants tonight for Perth Glory: Matt Dench, Henry Hall, Lucas Chicluna. So this is the first of, obviously for all of the A-League sides, this is their first competitive hit out for the season. A lot of the A-League sides, only back in pre-season training for the last few weeks, month or so. Another chance for Heidelberg. Cross is cleared away. Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. Once again, really appreciate it. If you guys want to support the channel, you can hit the like button. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys just being here. But if you're interested, you can send in a super chat or check out the memberships. Got some exclusive content there. We've been doing some exclusive members-only live streams for the Level 2 members. And we've only recently launched memberships, so it's a new feature that we have launched here on the channel. Blinkus also says, Glory struggling to retain possession, not getting Taggart the ball at all. Yes, he had that one shot early on, but haven't seen much of him so far, have we? Ooh, that's a heavy challenge. Heavy challenge on the wing there. Matt Dench has just been on the receiving end of a strong challenge there. And he stayed down too, Dench, the new signing for Perth. And there's a yellow card that's just been shown the way of Lions FC's right back there. Not long till half time in these first couple games. The great thing is, even though we've got half time coming up between the Jets and Preston and Lions and Perth, the action continues, of course, as Cumberland United and Heidelberg United. Their match continues, as that game is only 12 minutes in. So, 4 goals already tonight. And we've only just begun, folks. We are staying live for all the action tonight, by the way, so we are in for the long one. Bayswater City taking on Sydney FC. That game is kicking off in about, 15 minutes or so? So I haven't actually, folks, I haven't had a look at Sydney FC starting 11, so we're going to have to do a bit of a live reaction to that in just a moment. In about 5 minutes or so, we'll have a look at the Sky Blues lineup. Or actually, if anyone wants to throw the Sydney FC lineup in the live chat right now, feel free to do so. That's right, Tarnley. Tarnley says the Australia Cup is fun to watch. Anything can happen. Yeah, dude, it's just chaos. There's cup sets. It's just, yeah, it's such a unique competition. It's great. Thomas says, wish they added relegation to the A-League. Yeah, I mean, we'd all love to see it, and hopefully we do get it one day, Thomas. It would be great. It would be great. It's something that would obviously add a whole lot to the A-League, having that threat of relegation. It feels like it's probably still many years off until we do finally see it, but hopefully we are on the way. I think it's great. A good sort of first step is the establishment of the Australian Championship, the national second-tier competition, which had its inaugural season last year. Here's a chance for the Jets. Wilmering down the left-hand side has looked dangerous tonight from left back. The give and go with Virgos is very nice, and Wilmering's delivery back to Virgos, just wide, but that was brilliant play there from Newcastle. And Virgos has just lifted that over the bar, but that was a great little passage of play there for the Jets. Wilmering and Virgos just slicing through Preston Lions far too easily. Virgos already on the score sheet tonight for his new side, Newcastle Jets. Braden with a comment earlier as well says, I can't wait for tomorrow with the Wanderers, who I support, and other games, including Mariners, Sydney United, will be a test indeed. Indeed. Yeah, so what games have we got on tomorrow? We've got Tigers playing Wanderers, Sydney United playing Mariners. What else is on tomorrow? We're trying to keep up with all the action. We'll take a look at those matches in just a moment. Alrighty, what are we saying? Braden says Gabriel Popovich only new signing playing today on the bench for the Sydney FC lineup. There we go. Thanks for that, Braden. Gabriel Popovich, new signing at Sydney FC, who was at Perth Glory last year. Preston Lions. They haven't had too many attacks in recent minutes, but there's a shot that goes wide. Struggling to find the target tonight, Preston Lions. Isn't it funny? We've got a couple Lions in action tonight. Lions FC of Queensland. Currently 0-0 with Perth Glory. They're into 4 minutes of added time in that game. Heidelberg United have almost found goal number 3. Goodness me. From close range, Duarte has just had his shot saved. From very, very close range, in fact. Another great opportunity for Heidelberg United. That is a phenomenal save. Goodness me. Goodness me. I hope you guys have got a screen up watching the Cumberland United Heidelberg United game, because that was a fantastic goalkeeping save. It's a cross from Thea Harris towards the far post for Heidelberg. And Cumberland United just trying to stay alive in that game right now as we speak. Because Heidelberg already with the 2-goal lead after 15 minutes. Whole lot going on tonight, folks. Thanks for joining us here for our Australia Cup live watch along. Alrighty, Thomas asks, any players that look good in these games, that they can get a call up for the Oz national team? Ooh, interesting. It's always tricky, especially with the A-League teams, like this is their first competitive game of the season. I mean, you probably look at Newcastle Jets. I mean, a lot of people were really impressed with Max Burgess last season. He was very, very good. And a lot of people even suggesting that Max Burgess probably could have gotten a call up for the Socceroos World Cup squad, which would have been interesting. Didn't happen in the end, of course. But maybe Max Burgess is in the conversation. He's probably the one that stands out. Folks, it's half-time between Newcastle Jets and Preston Lions. It is Newcastle Jets that have a 2-goal lead. The reigning Cup winners, 2-goal lead. Goals to Will Dobson and Nikos Vergos. So it's half-time there. And we're in the final minute of stoppage time between Lions FC and Perth Glory. It's going to be very interesting to take a look at the half-time statistics in both of these games. But the action does not stop. It is the Heidelberg United, Cumberland United game is about 17 minutes in. A 2-goal lead for Heidelberg already. Incredible. Cumberland United, I mean, they'll be so disappointed with this start to this round of 32 match, conceding 2 early goals. Can they make the big comeback? So it looks like Perth Glory have a late free kick here. We're keeping an eye on this little piece of action. Perth Glory with a free kick. It's Henry Hoare who sends his shot straight to the wall. Interesting. So it looks like so far tonight in this first half, Perth Glory haven't had the most enjoyable first half. Lions FC making life a bit difficult for them tonight, and Lions with some good chances. Bit of late chaos late in this first half here. Perth Glory looking to scramble their way into the box. Lions FC have managed to see it through to half-time. It is half-time as well between Lions FC and Perth Glory 0-0. So there we go. There we go. Alrighty. Troy asks, are you planning to go to the Spurs Winter Festival of Football when they come here next month? I haven't gotten any tickets yet, but I am considering it. We've got a few big clubs heading over to Australia in the coming weeks. Chelsea, Tottenham. Yeah, which is great to see, of course, as always. Thomas asks, would you have called up another striker for Australia's World Cup squad? Yes. Yes, I would have called up Mitch Duke, personally. I know there's a lot of people who agree. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Like, that was my opinion prior to the World Cup, and that's my opinion after as well. I think Mitch Duke should have been in the squad. I think he had a good last few months with MacArthur. And I think his experience would have been good in the World Cup. Tunley also says, so glad there's no more drinks breaks. Blinkus, appreciate your comments tonight. Blinkus, who says 0-0 at half-time. Lions have been the better team in my opinion. Sutton for Glory really having a good game. Yeah, he made a good save earlier on. Let's look at some half-time statistics in just a moment. Of course, Cumberland United, Heidelberg United, that game is still underway. Currently the first half there. Sydney FC and Bayswater City is about to kick off in less than 10 minutes, folks. I would like to see some match statistics. Let's just have a look at how these games are playing out so far. So, Lions FC, Perth Glory, taking a look at the stats from FOTMob, 50-50 in regards to possession. Lions have had 7 shots, 5 on target. Perth Glory have just had the 2 shots, 1 on target. That was the 7th minute from Adam Taggart, that shot on target. Aside from that, Perth Glory have struggled to create chances. And it is Lions. The Queensland side, Lions FC, 7 shots, 5 on target, 10 touches in the opponent's box. There you go. The Queensland side looking good there. Having a look at the stats in the Preston Lions game in just a moment as well. Jets, 58% possession. Preston Lions just the 42. Preston Lions, they have had 5 shots, 3 on target. But for the Jets, 6 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals off 2 shots on target. Not bad. Alrighty. Tarnley also said, yep, agreed with Duke. Would have been helpful with his aerial threats. Absolutely. Nama, good to see you here, man. Asks, what's your thoughts on West Sydney Wanderers transfer window? Pretty decent so far. I like some of their signings. Miguel DePizio, Liam Gillian. Decent signings. Who else have they brought in? I'm blanking. But those are the couple that stood out for me. They've been linked with Nick Milanovic, possibly returning. Alrighty, Hamish. Hamish with a question on promotion, relegation. Hamish, good to see you tonight, man. Asks, if relegation and promotion is introduced in the A-League, what are your thoughts on scrapping finals and awarding the championship to first place? Ooh. That's an interesting idea, Hamish. I don't think I've ever thought of that. What does everyone else think? I would love to hear from everyone else on that. If promotion and relegation was introduced into the A-League, should we scrap finals and just whoever finishes first, they are the winners, they are the champions? I'm intrigued by that concept. I've never thought of that, Hamish, but I'm intrigued by that concept. And look, I'm all for finals. I think while we don't have promotion relegation, I think we need finals. And obviously finals, they're the big A-League games where you get big crowds and big viewership. So we need finals. And finals football is a big part of the Australian sport culture. Obviously in other codes having, final series. But if we had promotion relegation, I might be okay with that. With that idea. It's really, really interesting. Good to see A-League X. Welcome to the live chat tonight, mate. A-League X also says the A-League is nearing. So excited. And that's right, A-League X, who says good that Dobson and Burgos have got goals. Back on that promotion relegation idea. Yeah, with the first place in the A-League claiming the championship. Thomas says, think that should be good. Less games. Well, I mean, I'd like to see it introduced if we had more teams. A-League expansion is something that I really want to see soon. That's for sure. Troy says, the crowd is great for the league during finals. That's the thing, eh? That's the thing. Like maybe that concept could be introduced down the line, maybe when the A-League gets bigger. continues to grow. Blinkers also says finals are fun. First place should always be champions and our Asian representative, but finals are too big to lose. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, and here's like the way I think about it as well. Tan Lee says definitely as well, but you know what's interesting? Like, I don't know about you guys, but for me at least, I feel like everyone remembers who wins the grand final more than who wins the premiership at the end of the league season in the A-League, right? Like I could probably tell you every grand final winner for the history of the A-League. I don't know if I could tell you every premiership winner for every season in the A-League, right? So that's the thing. Like some people say, oh, I think, winning the league season is more important. And I think there's a lot of, you could certainly make that argument. And I wouldn't mind if that was the system that we had. But having said that, I feel like we all remember who wins the grand final, and that is the champions versus the premiers. The premiers are who win the league season, who finish first at the end of the league season. But no one really remembers the premiers. I don't know. It's just an interesting thought that I have sometimes. A-League X says, I think finals must stay as it's a core uniqueness of our league. It would still work in A1, A2 with 10 teams in each league. Yeah, and look, actually it could work because then even in the lower tier, in like the second tier, you could have a finals a finals series as a playoff to sort of, get into this top division, you know what I mean? Just like what they do in the English Championship, for example, where the top 6 teams, or the top 2 go through automatically, and then the other 4, 3rd to 6th playoff, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Val Hoon says, I got my tickets for Brazil in Brisbane. There you go, love it. Socceroos taking on Brazil in Brisbane in September, also in Townsville. Looking forward to watching those games, and I'm sure there'll be some fantastic turnouts in those games. Nama says, Eli Adams should have been chosen instead of Velupile in the World Cup. Eli Adams certainly had a better A-League season over the last 12 months. There is no debating that. I think the only sort of factor to consider is the fact that Nishan Velupile has that Socceroos experience. He's been there for the last couple of years now with the Socceroos. Eli Adams, I mean, it would have been an immense pressure on him making his debut on the World Cup stage. So that's why, like, it would have been cool to see Eli Adams in the squad, but I was okay with Velupile being in the final squad because he has that Socceroos experience. Yeah. So there is a game still happening right now, folks. Cumberland United are currently trailing 2 goals, 0-2. Heidelberg United with a 2-goal lead over Cumberland United. 2 very early goals for Heidelberg have given them the 2-goal advantage. Another game is about to kick off. It is Sydney FC taking on Bayswater City. And again, here's my live reaction to Sydney FC's lineup tonight. Obviously, we are taking a keen eye on the A-League side tonight. So Gus Hoofsloot starts in goals for the Sky Blues. It's a back 4 of Ryan Grant, Alex Popovich, Jordan Courtney-Perkins, and Ben Garuccio. So that is the same back 4 that started the A-League Grand Final a few months ago, if I'm not mistaken. Kamijo and Yuli in midfield. Looks like Zach Desajus is playing on the right wing. Akola Con on the left wing. Tiago Quintal playing in behind. Matthias McAllister, 19-year-old striker. McAllister starting tonight for Sydney FC in the Cup. And looks like a pretty strong bench for the Sky Blues that contains Takahiro Sakine, the new signing, a Japanese winger. Takahiro Sakine is on the bench tonight for Sydney FC. Another new signing there in Gabriel Popovich. So Sakine, will he get his first minutes for the Sky Blues tonight? We are about to find out. Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. There's a whole lot of Australia Cup action underway. The clock that we've got ticking along down here is following the Preston Lions Newcastle Jets game. That's the main game that's on Paramount Plus exclusively. All the other games are on YouTube. And Cumberland United, Heidelberg United, that is 28 minutes in. Half time between Lions and Perth, that's 0-0. And Bayswater City, Sydney FC, that's about to get underway, so I'm going to have to pull up that stream as well. We're rocking the multi-screen setup tonight, of course. I'm sure we all are tonight. You got all the the various devices out, trying to watch all the action. Did you play football when you were a kid? And if so, for who? I did play football when I was a kid. I haven't played football for many years. I had a few local clubs that I played for. I used to play indoor football a few years back, actually. That was the last time I played. Was probably about, 5 years ago I played indoor, which was fun. But yeah, it's been a while. Spend more time watching the beautiful game than playing it these days. Alrighty, that's right, Troy. Yeah, imagine coming up against him as a Bayswater player with his experience. Yeah, for those that don't know, Takahiro Sakine, new Sydney FC signing, a very experienced player. I think he's got maybe a couple hundred appearances in the top flight in Japan. Experience in the AFC Champions League Elite. So Sakine, he looks like a great signing for Sydney FC, and he is on the bench tonight. So could make his debut. Here's a chance for Heidelberg. Nice move down the left. The cross is floated in. Away it comes. We are keeping an eye on all of the action tonight, folks. Currently watching Heidelberg United, Cumberland United. It's just ticked past half an hour in that game. Looks like Preston Lions, Newcastle Jets is about to get underway in the second half. So corner coming up for Heidelberg. In swinging delivery is deep, but it's headed towards goal, bouncing around, a little bit of chaos. Oh, was that a penalty shout? Collins was just upended for Heidelberg. No penalty. Looked like there was a little bit of contact there. Troy says, I'm having a late dinner. Red Rooster tonight. Love it, Troy. I could not tell you the last time I had Red Rooster. Dude, is Red Rooster decent? Jump in the live chat right now. Have we got any Red Rooster fans? I cannot remember the last time I had Red Rooster. I do not get it often. Newcastle Jets look like they're making a halftime change. It's Ollie Cockle who's entering the field of play. Young attacking player here, Ollie Cockle. In straight into the action for the second half, as the second half is underway between Preston Lions and Newcastle Jets. We've got the clock ticking along down here at the bottom of this live watch long. That clock is following the Preston Lions Newcastle Jets game. That is the main game that's being broadcast on Paramount Plus tonight. So our clock tonight is following that game. It is about 32 minutes into the game between Cumberland United and Heidelberg United. And Bayswater City and Sydney FC. That is 3 minutes into that game. So very curious to see how that game plays out as well. So we are underway in all 4 games, folks. All 4 games have begun. Alrighty. So we've got 3 A-League teams in action tonight. Sydney FC, who have just kicked off. Newcastle Jets have a 2-goal lead as we speak over Preston Lions. And Lions FC, Perth Glory, it is 0-0, but Lions have been looking the better out of the 2 sides in that game. So have we got a cup set on our hands? Of course, we may be in a situation where we get extra time, maybe penalties tonight. Will we see it? So Ollie Cockle is on for Newcastle Jets, replacing Xavier Burton-Shellos. Looks like Cockle's playing over on the left wing. Zach Clough over on that right-hand side. And Jets playing a midfield three of Burgess, Nunes, and Dobson. It's a 4-3-3 formation that Jets play under head coach Mark Milligan. Love that. Going back to that, we were talking about Red Rooster a moment ago. Troy says, it's one of the better takeaway places in my opinion. Tarnley says Red Rooster are better now with their fried chicken. Blinkist also says, yeah, Red Rooster is decent enough for a takeaway place. Interesting. I'll have to try it. Maybe we'll do like a live, maybe for the next live watch long I'll order some Red Rooster and do a live taste test. Maybe if we hit like a certain number of members or super chats or something, we'll do Red Rooster. Someone can send in a super chat to pay for my Red Rooster meal for the next live stream, perhaps. So much to keep up. My eyes are flicking across everywhere. We've got 3 games underway right now. As the second half got underway in the Lions FC Glory game, I'm running out of screens, folks. I'm running out of screens. So here come the Jets down the left-hand side. Wilmering. Had a good game so far. Virgos for Clough. Nice flick on. It's Dobson. It's wide. Great chance. Will Dobson, very good last season for the Jets. I was impressed with him. Real breakout season for Will Dobson last year. Nikos Virgos has looked good tonight. Not only with a nice goal, but his little his play's been very, very good. It's just his general play. Teaming up with his other attacking players has been very good. Very, very good there. Tan Lee, thanks for that, man. Really appreciate it. Oh, Tan Lee, I really appreciate that, man. I appreciate the super chat. And Tan Lee, is that going to fund my first ever Red Rooster meal? I mean, I say first ever. I probably had it like, honestly, probably last time I had Red Rooster was maybe like 20 years ago. But Tan Lee, thanks for the very kind super chat. I really appreciate that. Tan Lee's a member of the channel as well. And again, Tan Lee has been a long-time viewer of the channel here as well. I remember Tan Lee joining us for some of our early live watch-alongs 3-4 years ago now. So I appreciate that, man. For the Red Rooster, that's right, for the Red Rooster. Oh, boy. All right, corner for Preston Lions on the way. That is, oh my goodness, yeah. What the heck? He's been asked to take the ball back to the little arc where you meant to take the corner from. It was like a whole meter away from that arc there. So anyway, the corner comes in for Preston Lions. They need a goal. Preston need a goal, man. They need to get themselves back into this match. Left-footed delivery. It's deep, but it finds a teammate bouncing around. Cleared away. We shouldn't forget Preston Lions made a good start to this game tonight. In the first 5 or 10 minutes, they looked really, really good. But after that, Jets took control and have the 2-goal lead. Shout out to Tarnley once again for that kind super chat there. Appreciate your support of the channel as well, man. And hey, we may well have to get some Red Rooster at for our next live stream. We'll see. Crowd prediction, asks A-League X. It's tricky. I mean, it's tricky to say for which game. It's tricky to say. I mean, looking at the Preston Lions Newcastle Jets game, it's looking pretty full. It's looking pretty full. They've got that grandstand on the far side. That's looking mostly full, man. And you've got some fans behind the goals as well. So at the Preston Lions game, it could well be a few thousand, honestly. Which is good to see. All right, folks, I've got, we're all rocking the multi-screen setup tonight. We've got 4 games underway right now. The only game that I'm not watching a live stream of is Cumberland United, Heidelberg United. So if anyone is watching that game and would like to give us some updates in the live chat, feel free to do so. They do always, of course, show the goals on the main channel if there are goals in any other games. So we will see those updates come through, of course, regardless. Jets, 6 shots so far. Preston Lions, 5 shots so far. Bayswater City, Sydney FC, 0-0 after 9 minutes. Yet to see any real chances in that game. But I tell you what, I'm especially curious to see how this Lions Perth Glory game plays out because, again, Lions are looking good, man. Glory, second season for Adam Griffiths in charge. This is Adam Griffiths' first full pre-season as head coach. Of course, Adam Griffiths took over early on last A-League season. David Zulich only lasted a few games last season before he was dismissed. Griffiths taking over. Adam Griffiths, first full pre-season as head coach at Glory. And Glory are probably wanting a little bit more. Here come Lions. Queensland club. Lions FC. Could they cause the cup set tonight? Perth Glory managing to defend. But Glory are just struggling to create any sort of quality chances in this game. Here come Lions. That's a long-range effort. It's wide of the goal. Football Oz asks, who do you prefer more, the Cove or the RBB? The two fantastic supporter groups. All obviously great scenes, you know, in the active supports there. They're two very passionate supporter groups. So it's hard to pick. But I acknowledge that both on their day are incredible. Some of the top supporter groups in the A-League. Tarnley says, A-League clubs' Australia Cup kits are interesting. It is interesting, Tarnley, because there's some teams, Newcastle Jets, for example, who have a dedicated Australia Cup kit. I don't mind the Jets one this year. Compare that to Perth Glory. Perth Glory are currently playing in their A-League kit from last season. For Sydney FC, it looks like that they are playing in their last season's away kit. So sometimes we do see the A-League clubs release new kits for the Cup. But sometimes we see the A-League teams just playing in last season's A-League kits. Mariners released a new Australia Cup kit, which is a pretty simple, clean-looking design, which we will see in action tomorrow night as Mariners take on Sydney United 58. Western Sydney Wanderers have just gone ahead and revealed their entire, the home and away, their fresh home and away kits for the new season, not just the Cup, but the actual A-League season. So Wanderers are the only side to do that so far, I believe. So I imagine we'll see Wanderers in their fresh kits tomorrow. They take on Canberra side Tigers FC. Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. Really appreciate you joining this live stream. We always love watching the Australia Cup, and these live streams are always a little bit chaotic because we're watching 4 games at once, essentially. So, would love for you to hit the like button to support the channel. You can also support by sending in a super chat. Shout out to Tan Lee a moment ago who sent us a very kind $20 super chat there to help fund our Red Rooster meal. For perhaps for our next live stream. We've got some suggestions to try Red Rooster, and it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've had Red Rooster, that's for sure. You can also consider checking out the memberships if you're interested. Here's a chance for Preston. Oh, they've scored! It's a goal. Preston have scored. They've got a goal back. It is game on. Preston have found the back of the net. Oh my goodness. Utter chaos in the box. And it's the perfect response for Preston Lions. It's 2-1. I'd love to see the replay because there was a bit going on there. It's a fair goal. I mean, there was appeals for maybe an offside. There's just a bit of confusion in the box. James Delianov, the Jets goalkeeper, was down on the turf after that goal was scored. But hey, looking at the replay, that looked like a fair goal to me. And Preston Lions have pulled one back. It's 2-1. James Delianov is going to receive some treatment here. So maybe he was involved in a collision perhaps there. But there you go. Oh, maybe it was after. Yeah, it was afterwards. It was just a little follow through. It was completely accidental. Just running through there. The goal scorer for Preston Lions looked like he just accidentally collected Delianov. But there you go. Wow. 2-1. Game on. Game on. Preston Lions have scored. Wowee. Hamish, a moment ago, asked, should we bring back A-League All-Stars games? I thought they were cool. Yeah, I'm happy to see the All-Stars games return. We do have the A-League Women's All-Stars this year, which is cool. They are taking on Chelsea in a few weeks' time, so that'll be fun. Yeah, I'm not. It's not nothing I'm crazy about. It's just a bit of fun in the off season, in pre-season. So, sure, that's how I feel about it. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but yeah, it's just a little fun thing. Perth Glory have made a substitution. Sam Sutton on. Here's a chance for Newcastle Jets. Cleared behind for a corner. Sam Sutton on for Perth Glory there. Four games underway right now as we speak, folks. We are into the second half between Newcastle Jets and Preston Lions. Second half as well between Lions FC and Perth Glory. There's a lot of Lions tonight. two different Lions. And they're not the only Lions in the round of 32. Kingborough Lions from Tasmania. They take on Melbourne Victory next week. On the weekend, in fact. Alex asks, won an All-Stars game. Says, quite liked the idea. Usually it's the birth of a new Australian manager. Yeah, no men's All-Stars this year. We do have the A-League Women's All-Stars. But yeah, I'm not sure why. Some years they do it, some years they don't. So, who knows? Yes, if we could just avoid any spamming in the chat, that would be great. Really appreciate it. Great to see everyone joining us in the live chat. Isaac, g'day to you, mate. Isaac asks thoughts on Nesta Sporting and Sutar West Ham. Yeah, I saw those reports today on social media. Very intriguing. Looks two good moves. Both moves I think would be good. I think, first of all, with Sutar and West Ham, I mean, you would imagine that West Ham are going to be one of the top teams in the English Championship this year. I think that's the expectation. So Harry Sutar, I think that would be a good move for him. Obviously, his current club, Leicester City, were just relegated to League One. So I think that would be a good move for Sutar. And hopefully that would be regular game time for him as well. And Nesta to Sporting would be a good move. That's a great club to go to. Hamish, yeah, it's the big question. We always talk about it a lot because it's a big question. Hamish has just asked who would be your next 3 A-League expansion teams. I like had these locked in. Like I've said the same places for the last few years now. We've been doing live streams here on the channel for the last 4 or 5 years now, and I feel like I'll always say the same locations. Canberra, get a men's team in Canberra. Great to see that the women's team have been saved, and they did reveal that a men's team could be coming in potentially in a couple of years' time. We'll see. Nothing official yet. Canberra, Gold Coast, second Queensland team, I think is next priority for sure. Preston Lions coming forward. Oh, here's a great chance. Preston! Oh, they've scored! It's 2-2. Oh, we'll have to come back to that A-League expansion discussion because Preston Lions have just found the back of the net again. 2-2. Oh my gosh. Utter chaos. Preston Lions have flipped this game on its head. Incredible. Oh, absolutely sensational. a bit of chaos in the box. The shot, yeah, it was a deflection, and it just bobbled through in the box. But to be fair, that's some pretty poor defending from Newcastle Jets. The way that the ball has just managed to creep through there and completely unmarked right in front of goal. That is far too easy. It's 2-2. Preston Lions have equalised. Absolutely incredible. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Sensational scenes. How about that, folks? Sydney goal. Oh, Blinkers, thanks for bringing that to my attention. Pulling up the stream. Yes, Acola Con to Quintal, and Thiago Quintal has just scored for Sydney FC after 20 minutes. 1 goal to nil there to Sydney FC, who have just found the back of the net. So there we go. Well, the Jets are going to respond with a double change. Alex Grant off. Zach Clough off. Zane Schreiber is on for his Newcastle Jets debut. Zane Schreiber coming over from Melbourne City. And Pat Wood, another debut here for the Jets. Pat Wood coming on to replace, we're about to find out, Nikos Virgos up front. So Pat Wood coming over from Sydney FC. Pat Wood recently signing with Newcastle Jets. He is on. Oh boy. Crazy, hey? Crazy stuff. Troy says, Pat Wood time, that's right. Sam says, I always hate the first game of the Cup. We always just seem sluggish, especially only training as a team for 10 days. That's the thing. I mean, that's why it's such a big opportunity for these NPL sides to get a cup set, because the NPL sides are deep into their league seasons, and for the A-League teams, as you said there, man, they're only sort of recently back into action, into training. So it was a great goal there from Sydney FC. Acola Con with the assist, and Thiago Quintal with a nice finish in the penalty area there. And it is Sydney FC who have a 1-goal lead over Bayswater City. So it looks like the Jets have made a few changes. In fact, Thomas Aquilina is also on at right back. So Bertolicio has shifted to the centre of defence. Alex Grant playing an hour or so in his debut for the Jets. A lot to keep an eye on tonight, folks. A lot of debuts. G'day, Leo Senna says, come on, Sydney. Leo Senna also says, good that we have young lads who are in form and fit during the NPL season. Yeah, that's a fair point, mate. And yeah, probably no surprise that someone like Matthias McAllister is starting tonight for Sydney FC, leading the line, 19-year-old striker Matthias McAllister, son of former A-League striker Dylan McAllister, who featured at the likes of Melbourne City, Central Coast Mariners, Gold Coast United. I was a kid when Dylan McAllister was playing in the A-League, and now his son is playing in the A-League. So it was a triple change for the Jets previously there, just a few moments ago. Aquilina, Schreiber, and Wood all on. So the Jets, Mark Milligan, probably not happy. Certainly not happy with the Jets conceding 2 goals there after half-time. Jets had a 2-goal lead at half-time. Preston Lions are back in the game. It is 2-2. So anything can happen. How do the Jets respond? Because they haven't been at the same level in the second half. Here comes Schreiber, Dobson. Can Newcastle Jets respond and regain the lead? Nice little play. Dobson, ooh, blocked off it. Schreiber's gone down in the box. No penalty. And of course, folks, no VAR. No VAR. At least at this stage in the Cup. No VAR. It remains 0-0 between Lions FC and Perth Glory as well. Tarnley says McAllister, impressive for me. Impresses me in the for the young Socceroos. He's a player with a whole lot of potential, that's for sure. I mean, he didn't really have a breakout season in the A-League last year. He never really sort of broke into the first team in the A-League last season. So maybe this is the year, especially with the departure of Pat Wood, maybe this is the year where Matthias McAllister can really get some proper game time in the A-League this season. Heidelberg goal, Isaac. Thanks for bringing that to our attention, because that's the one game that I'm not keeping an eye on right now. Have they scored again? It looks like it's halftime there. Heidelberg United 2-0 over Cumberland. Oh, it's a replay. No worries, Isaac. No worries. No worries. So the current scores we can see down here: Preston 2, Newcastle 2. Lions FC Perth Glory. It remains 0-0 in that game. Even stuff so far. Heidelberg United have a 2-goal lead at halftime over Cumberland United. And it is 1-0 to Sydney FC over Bayswater City. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, folks. Really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, would appreciate you hitting the like button. And you can consider sending in a super chat. Shout out to Tan Lee earlier tonight, who sent in a generous super chat. Here's Dobson. Ooh, little ball through the middle for Wood, who... Was he offside? He looked like he was probably offside there. Flag? I don't know if it came up, did it? The shot was blocked. Well by the goalkeeper there. I think it was offside. Lucas Shakluna, he's got his head strapped up, and he's having to receive some more treatment here for Perth Glory. That's right, Tarnley. Chaotic with 4 games. That's chaotic. That's why we need your help. That's why these live streams, these live watch-alongs are interactive. Because, we're trying to cover everything we can here. But there's only so much that we can keep an eye on at once. So it's up to you guys to keep us updated. So if you spotted anything in particular, if you see any goals, if there's any big things that you notice in any of these games, jump into the live chat, join the conversation, let us know. Newcastle Jets looking to regain the lead after they have just let a 2-goal lead slip. Preston Lions, what a comeback. Schreiber into the feet of Wood, just missing him though. Preston Lions, this second half comeback has been superb. They've been much better. A few former A-League players in this Preston Lions lineup. Bolzanovsky in defence. Ryan Scott, former Newcastle Jets goalkeeper, in goals for Preston. Jets on the attack once more. Let's have a look at what the Jets can do here. Dobson in the box has been good tonight. Just can't find a teammate. Schreiber, edge of the box. Preston have players behind the ball, and they clear it away. How are Perth Glory going? Because Lions FC have been looking good tonight, but they haven't managed to find the back of the net, Lions. Here come Lions down the left. Ooh, nice little through ball. Here's a chance. Good covering there. Lebib came across. Nice to see Lebib starting tonight. Sort of in and out of the side for the last couple of years at Perth Glory. Promising young central defender there. I just showed a replay of that. Good chance there for Perth Glory. It was a shot on target. Perth Glory with another effort on target there. They haven't had too many quality opportunities tonight, Perth Glory, but that was a decent one there. Here come the Jets through Nunes. A little bit too much heat on the cross, but it comes through to Wilmering. Schreiber goes short for Dobson. Will Dobson's been heavily involved tonight. He's on the end of everything. No worries, Hamish. Thanks for joining us tonight, as always, man. Great to see everyone joining us tonight. Delosh in the live chat, welcome along. Good to see you here. Perth Glory. They seem to be showing a little bit more initiative in recent moments. But Lions have kept them scoreless after 70 minutes. So could that game be destined for extra time? Newcastle Jets on the attack once more. Preston Lions really dropping deep now. Space for Aquilina on the right. Crossing it in. Can't find a teammate. Bozanovsky. He's a tall player. Tall defender. Comfortably getting it away. Free kick goes the way of Newcastle in a promising position. Half an hour between Bayswater City and Sydney FC. The Sky Blues with a 1-goal lead. That's a really heavy challenge. Goodness me. As I've just looked down to that game, Reece Yuli has just flown in. He did receive a red card in a match against Wellington last year, from memory. Reece Yuli. And that was a very, very solid challenge from the midfielder. Very combative midfielder, Reece Yuli. Certainly a very... Oh, geez, yeah. It wasn't the best challenge from Reece Yuli. I think he might have collected a little bit too much of the opposition player there. Every time I look up at this Preston-Newcastle game, it's the Jets who are pushing forward. Preston Lions have managed to get this game back level, 2-2. Could they take the lead? That's a good through ball. Preston are through here. Defenders getting back. That's good covering from Burgess. Well done, Max Burgess. Still on. Jets get players back. They deal with it. Double change for Lions FC in their game. We are staying live for all of the action tonight, folks. Of course, the final game to end tonight will be Sydney FC Bayswater City at this rate. Dilosh reckons Preston will score one more and then full-on defensive. They've got a corner. Have they got a corner, Preston? They do. So Preston have a set piece. They've managed to pull 2 goals back, and they've got it level. Let's keep an eye on what happens from this corner here for Preston Lions, the side from NPL Victoria. They're deep into their league season. Here comes the delivery. Sent in with not a lot of curl on it. Quite a direct ball and shot from range. It's still on here for Preston. Jets on the defence. That's a shot on target. Too much elevation on it. It goes wide. Perth Glory looks like they're preparing a triple change. Suleimani, Kolikovsky, and Evans coming on here for Perth Glory. So some attacking changes there for Glory. Preston Lions preparing a change of their own as well. Substitutions galore across a couple of the games. Of course, 2 of the games heading deep into the second half now. Bayswater City, Sydney FC. Currently in the first half, and Cumberland United, Heidelberg United. Well, second half should be getting underway momentarily. Bernarda's just come off for Preston. Goal scorer tonight. Big change for Perth Glory. Adam Taggart unable to find the back of the net tonight. Taggart is off. So Suleimani, Kolikovsky on. Adam Taggart. Had a relatively quiet campaign last time out for Perth Glory. Did get some goals, but wasn't necessarily towards the top of the Golden Boot charts where we usually do see him, Adam Taggart. Still a top striker. So, we are entering the latter stages of the second halves in the Preston Lions Newcastle Jets game, as well as the Lions FC Perth Glory game. And both those games, all level, 2-2, 0-0. So we could be destined for extra time tonight. We are eagerly watching these games because there could be a decisive moment on the way. Perth Glory have a corner. Let's keep an eye on this. It's Sam Sutton with the left-footed in-swinging delivery. It will be swung in just a moment. Bit of push and shove off the ball between Max Burgess and Romero. So corner comes in for Glory. Oh, that's a good header. It's a great save. That's a phenomenal save, but the whistle's been blown. Free kick. I think it was Labib who got a header away, and it was a good reflex save, but wouldn't have counted anyway. So this is fascinating now. Newcastle Jets certainly taking the initiative in this game. Jets looking to regain the lead here. Obviously, I mean, in regards to fitness, it's the Preston Lions. It's the non-A-League sides who are going to be the much fitter of the sides, because the A-League teams are still early on in pre-season for the A-League clubs. So this is going to be fascinating, man, to see how this plays out, especially if it goes to extra time. Which teams have the legs from here to go the distance? Oh, is that a goal? That is a goal. There is an equaliser for Bayswater City. There's a bit of commotion in the box. There's some pushing and shoving going on, but Bayswater City are celebrating a goal here. They have equalised. There is some serious pushing and shoving going on. Ryan Grant heavily involved, but Bayswater City have just scored. It's 1-1. A bit of chaos off the set piece. Sydney FC have conceded. Wow, replays are going to be interesting here because there was a whole lot of commotion after that goal. So the ball was swung in. I mean, multiple players ending up on the deck, and there was a whole lot of push and shove. It doesn't matter in the end because Bayswater City have scored. And it's a shame that some of the Bayswater City players were more interested in having some conversations than celebrating the goal with their teammate. They've just scored against an A-League opposition. Huge moment there for Bayswater City. It's 1-1. They have equalised against Sydney FC. So, at this stage, as we speak, none of the three A-League sides that we're watching tonight, none of them have the lead. It is level in all three of those games. Goodness me. Could we get a triple cup set tonight? Could we get a triple cup set? Here come Preston. This is a chance for Preston Lions. The cross is blocked. It's going to be a corner. Oh my gosh, dude. I don't know if we've ever had a triple cup set. Here come Lions. They've got a corner. Lions have got a corner coming up. Oh, Sydney have scored. Sydney FC. What a response. I look down to see Sydney FC have just found the back of the net for the second time tonight. Great response. It's 2-1. Wow. Absolute scenes. Sydney FC, great response. Akola Con down the left, and it's there to finish it. Right in front of goal was Matthias McAllister. Shot from range for Preston, just over the crossbar. But it's 2-1. McAllister has just scored for Sydney. The perfect response for the Sky Blues. You'll be so disappointed if you're a Bayswater City fan there. Just managed to equalise and instantly conceding another. That corner for Lions FC didn't quite work out. Wow, dude. So much drama. So much chaos. It was a brilliant headed goal by Bayswater City for their goal a moment ago, but Sydney FC just sliding down the left. Akola Con with 2 assists tonight. Brilliant performance from the youngster. And McAllister grabbing the goal for Sydney FC. Goal number 2. Sydney FC coming forward once again. Bayswater get it clear. Drama in all of these games. Lions FC of Queensland looking to go on the attack once more. They've shown some really good signs tonight, Lions. They're just missing the goal. Leo Senna loves it. Sky Blues back in front. That's right, Isaac, who says unlucky, deflected off the City player to a perfect through ball. Indeed. And McAllister, it was an easy finish for the young striker. Just had to see the ball home, and he did so. All right. Will we get a crucial goal? Will we get the big final goal here? The winner in one of these two late games here. Preston Lions 2, Newcastle Jets 2. Lions FC Perth Glory still scoreless in that game. So extra time might be on the cards, folks. That's a free kick. Yellow card as well for Max Burgess. Certainly a yellow card incident there. Max Burgess just complete tackle off the ball there. So that's a free kick for Preston Lions, who in this second half have been ultra impressive and are really chasing this winning goal now. They look like they could find this. Isaac says Heidelberg had actually scored this time. There we go. Isaac, thanks for that, man. Into the second half of that game. And yes, 3-0. There you go. Thanks for that, Isaac. Bringing us that update in the live chat. That's why you guys are here, man. Helping us cover all these games. And it's Heidelberg United who have just found goal number 3. So they are soaring through to the round of 16. 3-0. Heidelberg have that lead over Cumberland United. Cumberland United from South Australia. The clock that we have ticking away down here, by the way, folks, is tracking the Preston Lions Newcastle Jets game. Not long until half-time between Bayswater City and Sydney FC. It's 2-1 there to Sydney. Chance brewing, perhaps, for the Jets. Pat Wood on the right. Laser back for Aquilina. Burgess. Continuing to maintain possession, Newcastle Jets. And knocking it around well, but Preston Lions have been very solid defensively in the second half. They've fixed up some of those issues that were affecting them in the first half. Some space on the edge of the box that Newcastle Jets were exploiting for those 2 goals. Oh, here come the Jets. Fast break. Aquilina. This is a huge chance. Aquilina's cross comfortably cleared away by Bozanovsky. That was a great opportunity because Aquilina was through down the right-hand side there. Bozanovsky, A-League experience with Melbourne Victory and Wellington Phoenix. He's playing in the centre of defence for Preston Lions tonight. No worries, Melissa. Thanks for joining us in the live chat. Corner coming up for Newcastle. Newcastle Jets, the reigning cup winners. Of course, they had to defeat NPL Victoria opposition twice to win the cup. In the semi-finals and the final. In the semi-final, they defeated Avondale, and in the final, of course, defeating Heidelberg United. And there's going to be a halt in play here because goalkeeper Ryan Scott is sat down on the turf and is going to require some treatment here. Here comes Sydney FC. They're looking to get through down the right-hand side through De Jesus, but Bayswater defence in the way. Bayswater City, again, will be so disappointed that they managed to get that equaliser and then conceded so soon after. I can't believe it, man. You get that equaliser, huge goal, and they concede barely a minute later. So, Lions, they are building as we speak. Perth Glory have had to drop a significant number of players behind the ball. They're trying to press when they can. They're trying to apply the pressure in the right moments, Perth Glory, but they're struggling to find any consistent possession. Shot stats in that game. Lions have had 10 shots, Perth Glory 8. So that sort of paints the picture for you. Here's a chance for Lions. Oh, it's just the wrong pass. Didn't quite work out there for Lions FC. They're just lacking a little bit of quality in the final third. Here's a chance for Wilmering for the Jets. His shot goes wide for a corner. So the minutes are ticking by. We are about to enter injury time in 2 out of these 4 games. Heidelberg United have a 3-goal lead over Cumberland United. That game is into its second half. Almost half time between Bayswater City and Sydney FC. We are staying live for all the action tonight. Thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Really appreciate it. Dilosh, Melissa in the live chat. Shout out to Tarnley earlier for that very kind super chat. Isaac, thanks for those updates a moment ago as well. Great to see everyone joining us here. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button. It really feels like we are destined for extra time in a couple of these games, I think. They've just shown the replay. I've just seen the footage of that goal there for Heidelberg United. Goal number 3. Comfortably finished there. And Heidelberg United, who of course made it all the way through to the final last year. They have a 3-goal lead and they are cruising on through to the next round. This is match day 3. We've got another run of matches tomorrow night, another 4 matches tomorrow. And then on Sunday, 2 matches there. Western Bears taking on Melbourne City and Melbourne Victory play Kingborough Lions, side from Tasmania. And then next week, some big games on Thursday next week. South Melbourne play Adelaide United. Sydney Olympic host Brisbane Roar. Good forward ball for Preston down the right wing. Just goes out of play though. So injury time in the Preston Lions Newcastle Jets game. How much have we got? We're going to find out shortly. But it is 2-2 and there's just 4 minutes added on. So this Preston Jets game is destined for extra time unless we get a late winner here in regular time. G'day, Chawl in the live chat says, it's annoying how they put 3 games on YouTube and Channel 10, but then 1 on Paramount. And today's the best game on Paramount. I mean, yeah, that's what they seem to be doing, at least. They sort of put the top game that's maybe going to be the most watched game on Paramount Plus. I can understand them making that move. And yeah, when we have those match days when there are those 4 games, they do put the main game on Paramount Plus. But hey, Paramount Plus obviously broadcasts all the A-League men's, women's games, Champions League games, AFC Champions League games. So I personally think it's worth it. But of course, you can join us here in the live watch-alongs regardless. So we are into injury time between Bayswater City, Sorry, Preston Lions and Newcastle Jets. Bayswater City and Sydney FC. It is half-time in that game. 2-1 to Sydney. Quintal and McAllister with the goals for the Sky Blues. Can the Jets find a late winner here? They're coming forward. Ollie Cockle to Dobson. Dobson's been superb tonight for the Jets. He's trying to find a way through down the left. His cross is straight to the hands of goalkeeper Ryan Scott, who just sends it long. Good first touch. Nice control. Oh, there's a real chance to break here. Here come Preston Lions. Where's the defence? Preston getting through down the right-hand side. Cross comes in. Great ball. Oh, they've done it. Oh, Preston have scored at the end. Oh, utter scenes. Preston Lions have scored. Oh, that is terrible from Newcastle Jets. They've just fallen asleep in defence. Preston Lions have gone all the way up the other end and scored. It's 3-2. And the reigning cup winners are set to be eliminated here. Oh my goodness. Incredible scenes. I mean, if you're a Newcastle Jets fan, you are absolutely devastated because they committed numbers forward their Jets, but there was no one at the back. It was far too easy. The ball was floated in, headed home, and Preston Lions may well have just eliminated the reigning cup winners Newcastle Jets. Incredible scenes here. Incredible scenes for Preston Lions. Phenomenal celebrations. 6 minutes added on between Lions and Perth Glory. It's 0-0 there. But we are on the verge of a cup set. Truly, truly astonishing. So Newcastle Jets, with seconds to play, just simply have to send everything forward. Because their cup run is about to end at the very beginning. They made it all the way to the final last year. And they are about to be eliminated right here, right now. Preston Lions, this has been incredible. Newcastle Jets had a 2-goal lead at halftime. As Troy says in the live chat, how do you go from 2-0 up to that? Wow, this is an incredible collapse from Newcastle Jets. Seriously concerning to have a 2-goal lead, cruising at 2-0. They were the better side in that first half overall. And to concede 3 goals, the seconds are ticking by. The whistle's going to blow any moment. Here comes Cockle down the left-hand side. The Jets just have to get it in. They have to send everyone forward here. Incredible. It's a goal kick. That's surely got to be it. Well, we thought extra time was on the cards. Preston Lions had other plans. And again, I can't fathom how Jets left themselves so exposed at the back there. And at such a crucial time in the game. They had it was 3-on-2 just out of nowhere. I can't comprehend it. It's just incredible. It's astonishing. It's full time. It's done. The Jets have been eliminated in the round of 32. The reigning cup winners are out. Oh my goodness. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Preston Lions, who were trailing by 2 goals at half time, have scored 3 second half goals and eliminated not only the cup winners, but the A-League premiers. Newcastle Jets. Oh my goodness. Early cup set indeed, Troy. It's over the Jets, says Tarn Lee. Sam, who is a Jets fan in the live chat, says, I'm not worried, says part of the plan. And as Troy says as well, you know what they say, the magic of the cup. Dilosh in the live chat loves it as well. Absolutely incredible. If you are Newcastle Jets, you are absolutely just stunned with that because, 2-goal lead, the reigning cup winners, all of these factors just make this an absolutely incredible night in the Australia Cup. Preston Lions defeat Newcastle Jets 3-2. Absolutely incredible. The stream does not end here, folks. We've got 3 games still underway. Perth Glory Lions FC is barely a minute away. Barely a minute away from extra time. So we are keeping an eye on that one right now. But it is happy scenes for Preston Lions as they are celebrating on the field after full time. They have just eliminated the reigning cup winners 3-2. It is a truly, truly historic night for Preston Lions, this club from Victoria. Wowee. Wow. Incredible. Are you happy as a Mariners fan? Look, hey, I try to stay fairly neutral on this channel. I do have my Mariners fan channel, but hey, deep down, of course, there is a smile inside to see the Jets. Well, hey, as we said at the start of the stream, the Jets, there were 3 competitions this season: Australia Cup, AFC Champions League Elite, A-League. So they were aiming, obviously, going to be aiming for the quadruple there in regards to trophies. Well, they've already missed in their first competitive game of the season. 1 trophy is already off the board. They won the Australia Cup last year. They won the whole thing last year, but they are out in the round of 32. It is just truly, truly shocking. I'm just stunned. It was incredible scenes at the very end there. Preston Lions going the full length of the field and found the winning goal. Great cross, great header, right in front of goal. Brilliant stuff. So, folks, it does not end there. We are going to be turning our focus now to Lions FC Perth Glory because that game is going to enter extra time. It's 0-0. So we are turning our focus to that game there. But it is full time. Full time. Preston Lions 3, Newcastle Jets 2. It's just absolutely incredible. So, second half about to get underway between Bayswater City and Sydney FC. Sydney with a 2-1 lead there. There we go. So we're keeping you guys up to date in regards to where these games are at right now. Second half, currently between Cumberland United and Heidelberg United. Heidelberg with a 3-goal lead there, so they are cruising through to the round of 16. And it is time for extra time between Lions FC and Perth Glory. We are going to be following that game through extra time. And will there be a penalty shooter on the way? Maybe. What are we saying in the live chat? How are we feeling? Sam says won it. Don't need to win it again. Dilosh says we need to put Preston in the A-League. Sam also, who again is a Jets fan, says on to the next thing. Definitely not disappointed. I mean, of course, for Newcastle Jets, of course, the attention fully now turns and focuses now to the AFC Champions League Elite. That competition gets underway in September for Newcastle Jets. So they are turning their attention to the Champions League Elite, which is still just a couple months away. All right, Dilosh, who says, I'm from Perth, says, go Perth Glory. 0-0 between Perth Glory and Lions FC, so extra time getting underway shortly. We are also keeping an eye on the Cumberland United, Heidelberg United game. It is 3-0 to Heidelberg United. And Bayswater City, Sydney FC. Second half beginning shortly. Whole lot going on tonight, folks. We've got 1 cup set. Could we get another 2? Could we get 2 more? Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant stuff from a neutral point of view. Just sensational stuff. So, we've got the multi-screen set up tonight, folks. Thanks for joining us tonight. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. You can also consider sending in a super chat to support the channel, or check out our newly launched memberships if you want access to some exclusive content as well. Level 2 members get some exclusive content here on the channel. So, this is now very interesting. Lions FC, Perth Glory, extra time. Let's do it. Perth Glory have looked a little bit shaky. Probably expecting a little bit more from them in this game. Sam says, I just hope this doesn't make Jets fans start to turn on the team because it doesn't help anyone. Look, it wasn't a terrible performance from Newcastle Jets, but that second half collapse was certainly concerning. They showed some good signs throughout the entire game, Newcastle Jets, and those 2 goals they scored in the first half were lovely goals, but yeah, that second half collapse was seriously concerning, wasn't it? It really was. Okay. So, our clock down here on the watch-along here is going to be now tracking the Lions FC Perth Glory game. Extra time about to get underway there in Queensland. Great to have the Australia Cup action across 4 different states across Australia. Queensland, Victoria, South Australia, Western Australia. There's action everywhere. Heidelberg United. It looks like they're continuing to create chances. They're looking for goal number 4. Heidelberg United. This has been a very, very impressive start. Of course, Heidelberg United were the other finalists in the Cup last year. Heidelberg United look like they're going through to the next round. Jets are out in the round of 32. Tarnley says Aiden Roostich to Vietnam. I did see something about that on social media. Very intriguing. Very intriguing. Didn't see that coming. So we'll see if it comes through. Troy says, early days, as a Mariners fan, it'll probably just show them they need to improve, of course. Yeah, look at a number of new signings featuring for Newcastle Jets tonight as well. Extra time is underway between Perth Glory and Lions FC. So our clock is ticking to follow that game. Thanks for joining us here tonight, everyone. Great to see you all here. Australia Cup live streams, it's always chaotic. It's always dramatic. And we've already had drama. It is full time. Full time between Preston Lions and Newcastle Jets. 3-2. 3-2 there. To Preston Lions. The Jets, reigning cup winners, are out. Absolutely incredible. Do you think Croatia got robbed in the World Cup? We did a live watch-along for that game, Croatia-Portugal. It was obviously a very controversial call at the end of that game, wasn't it? I think I was happy with the decision in the end. It was an absolutely cracking game, that's for sure. Long-range shot from Despotowski, sails wide. So Perth Glory. They haven't been the better side tonight. The stats have been leaning the way of Lions. So this has been a pretty underwhelming performance for Perth Glory. Playing this, what appears to be a 4-2-3-1 formation tonight. Earlier as well, Sam also said, I think the second half showed a lack of preparation we had for the game. And it is a new team, but I think we can bounce back from this and go full steam ahead into this season. Yeah, look, I don't think it's any indication that the Jets... Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's any indication that the Jets are going to, struggle this season or anything. Wow, Heidelberg have had 20 shots. Cumberland United have only had 4. Wow. There you go. Ooh, here come Lions. Chance in the box. Shot. Shot. Just couldn't get the right contact on it. Sails wide. That was a good chance. Another good chance for the Queensland side. Heidelberg United. They've been dominant in their game over Cumberland United. Alrighty. Second half getting underway between Bayswater City and Sydney FC. Daniel Steins to get the game underway there for the second half. Former Perth Glory player Daniel Steins. And Newcastle Jets, former Newcastle player as well. Okay, shots on targets. Lions have had 7, Perth Glory have had 3. There you go. So Perth Glory just struggling to really create those quality chances and find the target tonight. Into extra time, our clock is following the Lions Glory game. Shot from range for Lions, straight to the hands of Sutton. But this is crazy, man. We are on the precipice of maybe a double cup set. Lions, can they find the goal? Or are we destined for a penalty shootout? Isaac says, not the greatest showing from the South Australia NPL sides. Yeah, who else was in action from South Australia? Why am I blanking on that? We had a couple games. We had 4 games last week in the Australia Cup, of course. And that's right, it was FK Beograd who were eliminated last week. North Sunshine Eagles defeating FK Beograd, that's right. Thanks for that, Isaac, as well, jumping in the live chat. Indeed. Indeed, the South Australia team's struggling in the Cup this year. Apia Leichhardt defeated Peninsula Power 2-1. SC Raiders defeated Rochdale Rovers, also 2-1 there. It was a big 4-0 victory for Brunswick Juventus over Marlin Coast Rangers up there in Cairns. And yeah, last week as well, North Sunshine Eagles defeating FK Beograd. G'day, Jack. Good to see you here, man. Jack says, Lions best chance to advance out of the Queensland sides before all the sides had played, I thought. Yeah, how are our Queensland sides going? So Peninsula Power are out. They lost to Apia last week. Lions, they are still in this game. Who were the other Queensland sides in the Cup at this stage? Are there any other sides, Queensland sides? There aren't, are there? Just the 2. Oh, no, excuse me, of course. There's Marlin Coast Rangers, who famously made it through to the finals rounds, but they are out. And Rochdale Rovers, that's right, yes, of course. So there you go, yeah, 3 Queensland sides eliminated, of course, as well. So there you go. Thanks for that, Jack, as well. Yes, that's right, Rochdale lost. So, oh my gosh, is there a goal? Was that a goal? I just missed a goal. Oh, the Lions scored. Dude, I was looking away, and the Lions have scored. The multi-screen setup has caught us out, and Lagos has just scored in the 95th minute. Oh my gosh. Lions goal. Dilosh, thanks for notifying me there as well. All right, oncoming Storm. G'day says, come on, Lions. Oh my goodness. Tarnley says, Perth following Jets. Oh, dude, I missed the goal. I'm kicking myself. I was too busy looking at our other screens. 3 games live right now in the Cup. Lions have scored. Wow. Cup set indeed. Oh my God. As Troy says, A-League teams dropping like flies. Oncoming Storm says double cup set is on. Could be a triple if we see a comeback from Bayswater City tonight. Wow. So Perth Glory, how do they respond? It feels like Lions deserve that goal too. I mean, Sam says, if Perth Glory lose, is it really an upset? Lions having a great league season in NPL Queensland. But hey, if you're an A-League team, you should have the quality to get through. I know it's early in pre-season, but if you're an A-League team and you lose, especially early on in the Cup, it's really tough, man. We've just seen Newcastle Jets eliminated, knocked out by Preston Lions, and now Lions FC, another Lion. They have the lead over Perth Glory. Incredible. Tarnley says, we need promotion relegation. There is not much of a gap. Yeah, I think the levels aren't too far off each other. Okay. Oh my gosh, dude, this is hectic. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. This has been a truly chaotic live stream. Trying to keep up to date with all the action. And thanks to everyone in the live chat for helping us stay up to date. It was you guys who brought to my attention that there was a goal there for Lions FC. We've got our multi-screen set up in front of us tonight. Troy says, it's concerning now. I'm worried about tomorrow given our record. Dude, could this be the year where it's just the year of the cup sets? I mean, in recent years, there's been lots of cup sets. There has been heaps of cup sets. Heidelberg United, they defeated... Heidelberg defeated Wanderers. They defeated Auckland. And didn't they defeat another A-League opposition? Was it Wellington? Didn't Heidelberg defeat Wellington? I think I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, man. So, I mean, 3 A-League teams in action tonight. One of them's already out. One of them's trailing in extra time. Sydney only have the 1-goal lead in the second half. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Another effort from Lions FC a moment ago, just wide of the target. But they have certainly managed a high number of shots tonight. Sydney FC have just scored. Sydney FC have just scored goal number 3, so maybe we aren't getting that triple cup set potentially. Sydney FC are celebrating goal number 3. Okolikon had it in the middle of the park. Nice ball out to the right to Quintal. And the runs in the box, they didn't need them. That's a great finish. Great finish from Quintal. He's found the back of the net for the second time tonight. That is sensational from the young attacking midfielder. Isaac says, as an Adelaide fan, I'm not so confident. Don't know where the goals are going to come from. Losing Luka Ivanovic, it's a big loss there for the Reds. Troy says, Duarte on the board. It's good to see. Yeah. On loan from Central Coast Mariners. So Quintal has just scored. Dude, what? It's saying that there's been a red card for Bayswater City. Is that correct? It's saying on the broadcast that there was a red card for Bayswater. Did I miss something? I'm going to do a quick little rewind on that game. Because I must have missed something. I think that's a mistake, man. That hasn't been a red card. Someone correct me in the live chat. As you can see on the scoreboard in the Bayswater City Sydney FC game, it's listing that there's been a red card in the 52nd minute, but I don't think there was a red card. Tan Lee says Sydney FC's squad looks scary, and they've got great young players as well, don't they? Like McAllister, Quintal, Akon, Yuli still young, Camijo. Incredible. Incredible. So our clock that's ticking along here is keeping track of the Lions FC Perth Glory game. Lions FC lead. There's a good diving save from Sutton a moment ago. Also a debut here for Perth Glory for Lachlan Jackson signing from Melbourne Victory. New signing at Perth Glory. Good signing. Good signing there. Experienced centre-back Jackson. Wooten also on to replace Dench. Corner for Lions. Good delivery too. Bit of a collision in the box. And it goes out for another corner. This has been a disappointing game so far for Glory. They've been below par. We're in the final moments of that Heidelberg United, Cumberland United game. Heidelberg with a 3-goal lead. So let's keep an eye on this corner here for Lions. They're on the attack again here. They've already got the lead. They're looking for more. Defensive header away from Labib. Still on here for Lions. Can Glory go on the counter now? Henry Hall for Sutton. He's done well to keep it alive. Henry Hoare on debut tonight for Perth Glory. He started and he's played over 100 minutes on his Glory debut. In case you missed it earlier tonight, Newcastle Jets eliminated. Newcastle Jets eliminated the reigning cup winners, losing 3-2 to Preston Lions. Incredible scenes earlier tonight. 3 games continuing as we speak. Down the left-hand side, here comes Perth Glory. Cross nowhere near anyone. And there's going to be a halt in play here because there's a Lions FC player who's down, requiring some treatment, perhaps. Sydney FC, they're looking good now. They've got the 3-1 lead. Quintal's been very impressive with his 2 goals. 2 assists as well for Okola Con. Yeah, a bit of confusion about that red card. Oncoming Storm said in the live chat. Yeah, Stream says red card, service score doesn't. Yeah, well, they fixed it up now on the scoreboard. So the red card's gone. So that was just an error. Glitch indeed. Master FUT, g'day to you, mate. Just saw your comment. Where are you watching this game? All 3 live games right now are on YouTube. Tarnley says Australia Cup is on YouTube, and it's great that they don't turn off the live chat. Yeah, it's cool, eh? It's cool. I have noticed that. The Preston Lions Jets game was on Paramount Plus exclusively, but all the other games are on YouTube, which is great. Troy says Ryan Grant is surely going for the record for the most A-League appearances. I believe Topo Stanley, Broxham, or Durante currently hold it. One of those players, I believe. Yes, I think it should be Lee Broxham. Pretty sure it's Lee Broxham. But yeah, Ryan Grant. I don't know what he's on now, but he must be getting close. 3 minutes added on at the end of the first period of extra time between Lions FC and Perth Glory. Thanks for joining us tonight, folks. We've been live for, how long now have we been live for? Over 2 hours. We are staying live all the way through to the end of this evening's action. We are planning on doing our next live watch along will be next week, Thursday, for those 2 cracking games. We are planning to be live for that double header, South Melbourne Adelaide and Sydney Olympic Brisbane Roar. 2 cracking games there. So that is our next scheduled live stream. So make sure to join us next week for that one. Here comes Garuccio. Goes back for Yuli. Sydney FC building. Decent delivery. No one's there though. Sydney FC looking for goal number 4. Yuli's strike goes high and wide. Here comes Perth. Kolakowski for Sutton. Sutton's cross deflected away. Cleared away by Lions. Defensively, a solid performance tonight for Lions FC from what we have seen. Troy says, are you going to the game tomorrow? Unfortunately, I have to work, but I should be home by kickoff if I'm lucky. I'm still finalising plans. I'm hoping that I can get there to the game, but I may be watching it from home. But yes, we'll see. Very much looking forward to it regardless, of course. Great games on tomorrow. Oh, here's a great chance for Sydney. Oh, that's a point-blank range. Italiano with a save. It falls for Yuli, and that's another great save. Double save from Luis Italiano. Brilliant stuff from the Bayswater City goalkeeper. We have passed the hour mark in that game between Bayswater City and Sydney FC. I'm in New South Wales, my friend. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight, wherever you are tuning in from, across Australia or across the world. We did a bunch of live streams throughout the World Cup, and it was great to see a number of folks joining us from across the planet. Hey, Nick, thanks for that in the live chat. Nick O'Rourke has jumped into the live chat to say Ryan Grant, 367 appearances, Broxham 383. Wow. So he could beat it. He could beat it this season. Wow. Hectic. That's hectic, man. It is half-time and extra time between Lions and Perth Glory. There you go. So Ryan Grant... That's going to be a big story this season. Thanks for that, Nick. Throwing those stats, jumping into the live chat and throwing those stats in there. As Sydney FC have just scored goal number 4. That's goal number 4 for the Sky Blues, is it? Oh my goodness me. Well, they are cruising through to victory. Sydney FC have just scored number 4. Okola Khan with a forward pass. And Italiano, I mean, he's probably regretting that decision. He came way off his line there, and it was an easy finish in the end. I think it was De Jesus perhaps with a finish. And, well, we were wondering whether we would get another cup set tonight. Sydney FC are just about through. They've got a 3-goal lead. It's 4-1 to Sydney. They are cruising through. They're cruising through the Sky Blues. Thanks for that as well, Blinkers. Goal for Sydney. Yeah, it was De Jesus who got on the score sheet. Zach De Jesus starting tonight. A rare start for De Jesus. Has been with Sydney for the last few years now. Limited game time. But given the opportunity to start on that right wing, and he has found goal number 4 for the Sky Blues. They are looking comfortable now. So, time to reset the clock here for extra time. Our clock is following the Perth Glory Lions FC game. And this is going to be interesting because Perth Glory have 15 minutes left to find a goal to keep their Australia Cup run alive. I'm going to go get some more water. We're going to be back in just a moment. How are these games going to play out? It's almost full time as well between Cumberland United and Heidelberg. 3-0 to Heidelberg there. Actually, before we go to top up our water, oh my gosh, what a goal. It's goal number 5, and it is a hat-trick for Tiago Quintal, who is having an absolutely incredible game. Oh my goodness, I was about to get up to get some water, and Tiago Quintal was like, wait a second, Lockie, I'm going to complete my hat-trick. That's a stunning left-footed finish. It's a brilliant goal, and Sydney FC are just completely outclassing Bayswater City now. They are scoring goals for fun, just so much space down that right-hand side. And Quintal just cutting in. And that's a superb finish. Did it take a deflection? Just brilliant work. Quintal cutting in, and just the finish was superb. It's goal number 5, and Tiago Quintal has a hat-trick. Time to get some water. Incredible stuff. Sydney FC. Brilliant. 5-1 they lead. And our focus now is on Perth Glory, because they need to find a goal in the next 10 plus minutes to keep their Australia Cup dream alive. It is full time between Cumberland United and Heidelberg United. It is a comfortable 3-0 victory in the end for last year's finalists, Heidelberg United. They are through to the round of 16. Just too much for Cumberland United in the end. Cumberland United side from South Australia getting through to the round of 32, but the run ends here for the South Australia side. So, 2 games have come to an end here. Preston Lions, incredibly, coming from behind to defeat last year's winners, cup winners. Oh, they've scored! Perth Glory have scored! Oh my gosh, they've done it! It's Lebib! Perth Glory finally make a breakthrough. Oh my goodness me. Adriano Lebib, it's the defender, the centre back. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Great movement in the box. Got to the ball first. It was a lovely delivery from Sam Sutton. And Adriano Lebib, an unlikely goal scorer, but he's found the back of the net with a superb header. Wow, 1-1. Such a good goal, says Dilosh. 109th minute. They have scored. Incredible. So Perth Glory have levelled things up. Double change for Sydney FC. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a big moment for Sydney FC. Takehiro Sekine making his debut for the Sky Blues. Experienced Japanese winger. New signing for Sydney FC. He could prove to be one of the top players in the A-League this coming season. Keep it on Takehiro Sekine, number 14. He's just entered the field of play for Sydney FC. And I tell you what a time to come on when your team is leading 5-1. Wow. Troy says it took as long as it takes for them to score. Then it does to fly there. Right, I see what you said there, Troy. Yes. Yes. Goodness me. They made the trip all the way over from WA, of course, Perth Glory. And they have taken almost 2 hours to finally find the back of the net. Adriano Lebib scoring there for Perth Glory a moment ago. Nick, it's a good question. Is Sekine considered a marquee or are his wages low enough? I'm not sure. It's a good question, Nick. If someone can answer that in the live chat, jump in. I don't know if he is marquee or not. Maybe. So, are we destined for penalty shootout in this Lions Glory game? It's 1-1. 10 minutes remaining in extra time. What a game it has been. Taking a look at the stats in this Lions Glory game. So Lions, 20 shots, 10 on target. Glory, 12 shots, 4 on target. So Lions have been dominating. 10 shots on target for Lions. I've had possession's been just about even in that game as well. But Matt Sutton, the goalkeeper, has made 9 saves tonight for Perth Glory. 9 saves, Matt Sutton. So he's having quite the game. Here's a chance for Sydney again. A first touch for Sekine. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing his name as well. New arrival to Sydney FC. Takehiro Sekine has got a wealth of experience playing in the top flight in Japan. Quite a versatile player as well. Generally a winger. So that looks like that is the position that he is playing now. But Perth Glory, Lions FC, this game, it feels like anything can happen. It feels like anyone's going to score. Perth Glory have not been dominating the game the way they probably would have liked to. A number of new signings featuring for Glory tonight. They had 3 debutants, which is worth highlighting. Dench, Shikluna, and Henry Hoare. Here's a chance for Glory. Good run into the box. It was, I think, Henry Hoare who made a great dribble into the penalty area. And Lions, credit to Lions, man, defensively, from what we've seen, have been really, really good tonight, haven't they? Yeah. Master FUT says, Lockie, do you remember the Phoenix versus Glory Australia Cup game last season where Phoenix won on penalties? It's giving that vibe. I do remember that. Yes, I do recall that. That was played over in Perth too, wasn't it? Was that last year? Yes, that was last year. That was last year in the round of 32. Dilosh, thanks for answering that. Not a marquee play, Sakina. Jack also says, Brizzy City beating Kingsway last year at Spencer Park must be the ground for Australia Cup pens. There you go, Jack. There you go. Troy says about 730k in transfer market since he moved to Sydney in regards to Takahiro Zakine. Another chance for Sydney FC to score another. It's bouncing around in the box. A con. Desperate defending, and that's got to be a free kick. Yes. Joe Lacey's been upended at the very edge of the box there. Free kick in a great position coming up for Sydney FC. There's still a lot of time to go in that game. 72nd minute there between Bayswater City and Sydney FC. 5-1 lead for the Sky Blues. Great free kick opportunity coming up for the Sky Blues. But, folks, we've had everything tonight. We've had just about everything. Will we get a penalty shootout? We are minutes away. We are minutes away. I really appreciate you guys hanging out for this live stream. I really do, because these are big ones, man. We are watching 4 games at once. It's chaotic. We are trying to keep an eye on all of the action. So if you haven't done so, hit the like button. You can also consider sending in a super chat or checking out the channel memberships if you want to support us here. We are planning to do another Australia Cup live watch along next week on Thursday. Here's the free kick for Sydney. Sakine, he takes the shot, but it's into the wall. Still on for the Sky Blues. Bit of chaos in the penalty area. Finally, Bayswater get it clear. Yes, next live stream next week on Thursday. Big doubleheader. South Melbourne versus Adelaide and Sydney Olympic play Brisbane. Interesting games coming up next week. Nick also earlier said Perth can't do worse than in a shootout than some of the teams in the World Cup. Indeed. Alrighty. I mean, we are 5 minutes away now from a potential penalty shootout. Lions FC on the attack down the right-hand side. Could they find a late winner? Could they find it? Here comes the cross. Ooh! Appeals for a handball. Appeals. Referee says corner. No VAR. No VAR at this stage in the cup. The replays will be interesting. I'll just say that. The replays will be interesting because it was hard to tell. It was a difficult one to call there, I think, because it was so quick. So corner for Lions. Here we go. Outswinging delivery. Not too bad. Comes away to the far post. It's still on for the Queensland club. Oh, here's a chance in the box. The shot! Oh, just wide. Side netting. Very, very close there, Lions. Wow. Was that their chance? Was that their opportunity to win this game once and for all? Full time between Preston Lions, Full time between Preston Lions and Newcastle Jets. 3-2. Stunning win there for Preston Lions. Cup set alert. Full time between Cumberland United and Heidelberg United as well. 3-0 for Heidelberg. So how about that? The 2 finalists, their games are wrapped up tonight. Heidelberg and Newcastle. Newcastle are out. Heidelberg, they have cruised through with a 3-0 win. How about that? 75th minute between Sydney FC and Bayswater City. Sky Blues cruising through, currently leading 5-1. Lions, they're on the attack once more. It's been quite incredible the way that Lions have really controlled a lot of this game and have created a lot of chances. Over 10 shots on target. It's been a really, regardless of what happens here for Lions, they have to be proud of their effort tonight because they have taken an A-League side all the way here. And that's, always going to be an achievement for a non-A-League side. Lions FC, they're having a good campaign in NPL Queensland. And could they keep the dream alive in the cup? Still time. Free kick goes away the Lions near the halfway line. It's concerning for Glory too, because it's not like they're playing like an inexperienced team or they're really rotating things around all that much. They're playing a pretty strong team. They've got good players on the field. Henry Hawes there. What else they got? Soleimani leading the line at the moment. Sim Sutton's Kolakowski's always a goal threat. They've currently got Scott Wooten and Brian Kaltak at the back there, Perth Glory as well. So they've got experience at the back. They've got the squad. They've got the team to do it, Perth Glory. They're just... Maybe the factor that we should be just really highlighting here once again is the fact that it's early on a preseason for A-League teams, so it's tricky. Lions, through ball, misses everyone. Tanley says Wataru Mijo can play for Australia, Japan, and South Korea. Wow, there you go. 3 countries to choose from. He's a top player, Wataru Kamijo. I rate him really highly. He's been in like Sydney's A-League squad for a couple of years now, but he really had a breakout campaign last year, especially when Kisnorbo came in. Patrick Kisnorbo really gave a proper run for Kamijo in the starting 11, and he was very good, Wataru Kamijo. So he could be the key player in the centre of the park for Sydney FC this season, and hey, a lot of potential. Who knows? I mean, he was playing alongside Paul Okonengsla in Sydney FC's midfield last season, and we know Okonengsla is now a Socceroos star. I mean, it'd be great to see Kamijo become the next Socceroos star as well. Nick says, shame we didn't see more of Kamijo and Ocon Jr. together. Lions coming down the right-hand side. Cross is blocked. It feels like both teams are maybe just... this Lions-Perth game, it feels like at times it's slowing down a little bit at the end of extra time. We've got 3 minutes added on, by the way. 3 minutes added on. So we are just barely a couple minutes away from a penalty shootout here between Lions FC and Perth Glory. I'm down for a penalty shootout, man. We've already had a dramatic come-from-behind cup set. Give us a penalty shootout. Oh, we might not need one because Lions are in. That's got to be offside. Yes. Oh my gosh. Lions FC just put the ball in the back of the net. Hey, Troy, thanks for those gifts, man. I've just seen them pop up. Thanks for that, mate. Appreciate that. Well, Lions, they thought they'd found the winner there, but it did look offside. The flag was raised. 3 minutes added on at the end of extra time. Penalties around the corner. Great chance for Sydney as well. They just got into the box once more through Popovic, but couldn't find the shot. This has been a real statement tonight from Sydney FC. They've looked very impressive, haven't they? The first 2 games tonight both ended in regular time, but Lions FC, Perth Glory going through to extra time and possibly penalty shootout. It looks like Sydney FC and Bayswater City just 10 minutes remaining in regular time, and looks like that game will wrap up in regular time. Hey, Nick, thanks for that super chat, man. Really appreciate that. Great to see you jumping into the live chat tonight, and really appreciate that super chat. goes a long way to helping me commit some more time to this channel and get more content out. So I appreciate that, man. Corey, that is a phenomenal question. Oh, Corey, that's like, I've been doing live streams on this channel for like, I don't know, 5 years now. That is an all-time great question. And my answer to that is Optimus Prime, of course. I mean, if I want a goalkeeper in goals, it's Optimus Prime. To have a literal truck in goals. Yeah, man. Brilliant. All right. Oh, Lions FC, they're charging forward for one final attack. Could they win it in regular time? Despotowski trying not to commit the foul. Good challenge there, Despotowski. And it's full time. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers, we are going to a penalty shootout between Lions FC and Perth Glory. Goodness gracious me. Oh my gosh, it's been an absolute marathon of a game. It's been tightly contested, and Lions FC have been very, very good tonight. 2 extra time goals. Lagos scoring in the 95th minute for Lions. Labib, the defender, scoring in the 109th minute for Perth Glory. And it's going to extra time. Goodness me. Well, yeah, after the World Cup, we are now used to watching penalty shootouts. The last live watch-along that we did for a penalty shootout was Australia versus Egypt a few weeks ago now. And we all know how that played out. So, how will this one play out? Lions FC, Perth Glory, Lions with a chance for a big cup set here. Can Perth Glory keep their cup dream alive? Here we go. All right. So, it's time for a penalty shootout between Perth Glory and Lions FC. The clock that we've got ticking along now is now going to follow the Bayswater City Sydney FC game. We are now going to track this penalty shootout here. It's a 1-1 scoreline in the end. In the brackets here, we are going to have the penalty score line. That's right, Tarnley. Next stream, Red Rooster Review. And thanks again, Tarnley, for that kind super chat earlier this evening as well. And once again, shout out to Nick a moment ago. Nick, for sending in that super chat. Really appreciate it, bro. Nick also said in the live chat, missed the start of the Perth game. How strong was their lineup from kickoff? It was good, dude. It was good. Adam Taggart was starting. They did have a few debutants. Perth Glory had Shikluna, Henry Hoare, and Matt Dench starting on debut. But yeah, they had Diabru in there, Despotowski starting, Kaltak at the back, Shamoon, Labib, Sutton in goals, Taggart leading the line. Like, it was a strong lineup for Glory. Yeah, they're probably only missing a couple of key players. No Callum Neuenhoff. Callum Neuenhoff, new signing for Glory. No Tom Lawrence. So they are missing a couple of top players, their Perth Glory. So that wasn't necessarily their strongest 11, but it was an 11 that was capable of winning, in my opinion. So the clock that we have ticking along down here, once again, is following the Bayswater City Sydney FC game. In the latter stages of that game, it is 5-1 to Sydney FC. Great to see everyone joining us in the live chat tonight. G'day to Sub to the T-Bones. Welcome. No worries, Sam. Thanks for joining us tonight. You'd love to see food reviews. Who knows? Maybe we'll have to start up a whole new channel for that. Nick says, surprised there wasn't more of a fight for Kaltak once he was done at the Mariners. Rate him a lot, says Nick. Yeah, look, he had a decent season in the end at Perth Glory last time around. Still a very good central defender, Brian Kaltak. But yeah, I am surprised by this performance from Perth Glory. I think they had the team, the starting 11, to really compete today. And well, not just compete, but to sort of be the better side tonight. And they haven't. Lions have definitely been the better side. So the penalty shootout is getting underway in just a moment, folks. I'm going to have a quick look at the stats between Lions and Glory. Possession, according to FOTMob, 50-50. According to FOTMob, 21 shots, 10 on target for Lions. Glory, 12 shots, 4 on target. So there you go. Lions dominating, well, much higher there in the shot statistics. So we've got a penalty shootout on the way. And Sydney FC, we are keeping an eye on their game as well, as they are just simply outclassing Bayswater City tonight. I mean, Bayswater leveled it up in the first half. It was 1-1. It was 1-1 in that first half, and then they conceded the second straight away after that. So it is penalty shootout time. Who is going to be the first player to step up? If you haven't done so already, folks, hit the like button. Appreciate it. That is true, Sam. I do have a music channel. It's no secret, to be fair. It's no secret, to be fair. If anyone's interested in checking out my music, when I'm not talking about football, I play music. So you can check out Lockie Music, LOCKEE, if anyone's interested. I don't talk about it all that much, but it's certainly not secret, that's for sure. Yes, I did see that, Tarnley. Marcus Neal, professional contract at Sunderland. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hopefully he gets some game time. Hopefully. Okay, penalty shootout time, folks. The first player stepping up is Stefan Kolakowski. Stefan Kolakowski, he's played in some big games. He's played in big finals games for Melbourne City in previous years. Now at Perth Glory, Stefan Kolakowski. He's going to get this penalty shootout underway, folks. Stefan Kolakowski for penalty number 1. That's a comfortable penalty. It's a good finish. Perth with the lead. In brackets here, down here in the brackets, we've got the penalty scoreline, the penalty shootout scoreline. So Glory take the lead in the shootout. Good pen says must FUT. Very comfortable, very cool and calm, collected there. Stefan Kolakowski, former Melbourne City and Wellington Phoenix player as well. Now at Perth Glory and finding the back of the net from the penalty spot. So Lions FC stepping up to take their first penalty of the shootout. Matt Sutton has had a very, very good game in goals for Perth Glory tonight, folks. Matt Sutton, formerly of... spent a lot of time in Melbourne, was at Western United a couple of years ago and joined Perth Glory last season. Had a good campaign with Glory. Can he save this first penalty? Lions FC stepping up for that first penalty, and that's a very good goal. And oh my goodness, the ball has gotten stuck in the bottom corner of the goal. It's gotten jammed in there. Both teams on the ball for the shootout. So, we're currently watching this penalty shootout here between Glory and Lions. The clock that we have ticking away is following the Sydney FC Bayswater City game, which is almost wrapped up. Sydney FC are through. It is done and dusted. And the minutes are ticking by. So it is Sebastian Despotovski to step up for penalty number 2 for Glory. Son of the famous Bobby Despotovski. Also good save. It's a brilliant save. Oh my goodness. What a stop. Diving save over to the keeper's left. It's Mark Schwarzer-esque. And Despotovski has been denied. It's a brilliant, brilliant save. Wowee. What a stop. What a brilliant stop by Riley, the goalkeeper there for Lions FC. Incredible. So, can Lions capitalise on that advantage? Here we go. Lions for their second penalty. Pretty straight run up here. It's the goal scorer Lagos. He scored in extra time. Lagos, he scores for Lions. And the Queensland side have the lead in the shootout. 2-1. Meanwhile, the full-time whistle has just blown between Bayswater City and Sydney FC. That game has come to an end there. It is full-time there. 5-1. A very, very impressive performance by Sydney FC. So, our stream has come to the very end here, folks. Really appreciate you joining us, whether you've been watching since the very beginning, almost 3 hours ago, or whether you've just joined us. We are watching a penalty shootout right now. It's Arion Suleimani. Suleimani steps up. Oh, it's saved again! What a save by Riley. Incredible. Suleimani kept it low. It wasn't the best penalty. It was fairly central. It was slightly over to his right. But it was nowhere near the far corner, that's for sure. And Riley has gotten down to his left again to make a brilliant save. And Lions are now on the precipice. Incredible. Incredible. Wow, dude. Sam says, man, I still miss tuning in for the daily halftime griddle. Says, rip gone, but definitely not forgotten. Indeed, Sam. Is this to win? Here comes Lions. They have scored. I don't think it's done yet. It's not done yet, is it? But it means now that Perth have to score. That is another confident penalty from Lions. They are yet to miss. It is 3-1. Lions FC. Well, this is it now. Perth have to score. Perth have to score now. If Perth miss, it's done. And stepping up for this crucial penalty is Sam Sutton. Substitute tonight. Came off the bench. Sutton needs to score. Oh, it's in. It's in. I tell you what, Riley got a hand to that. Riley got a hand to that. As the rain falls in Brisbane, Sam Sutton has kept Glory alive. Just. There is a pulse. There is life. But it could be extinguished right here, right now. If Lions score, they are through. If Lions score here, they're through. It's 3-2 in the shootout. At the very end of what has been a truly dramatic night in the Australia Cup. Make sure you hit the like button before tuning out this evening. Here we go. Lions FC, if they score, they're through. They are through. It's another cup set. It is 4-2 in the shootout. A marathon of a game has ended in a truly, truly thrilling cup set here. Lions FC have kept the dream alive for Queensland. 3 sides eliminated in the round of 32 already from Queensland. Lions FC have defeated A-League side Perth Glory. Absolutely incredible. Second cup set indeed. Sam, I appreciate that. Sam says, Peter Drury, got nothing on you, Lockie. Says, no, he's good, but he can't do it in a living room watching Oz Cup football. That's right. And goodness me, Perth Glory have been unable to do it on a rainy night in Brisbane because Lions FC have pulled through in the penalty shootout 4-2. Lagos with the goal for Lions in extra time. Labib grabbed the equaliser. But I tell you what, I've got to say, I think Lions deserve that win there, folks, because Lions FC, man, I mean, absolutely incredible the way they really took Perth Glory on for the entirety of this game and managed to get more shots on target. They were level in possession in the end. A fantastic defensive display, I think, tonight from Lions FC, it should be said as well. And I think they deserve to go through. Perth Glory, underwhelming tonight for the A-League side. They had a strong lineup. They had a strong team that travelled over to Queensland for this game. But ladies and gentlemen, 2 A-League sides are already out of the cup. Jets are out. The reigning cup winners and A-League premiers from last year. They are out after an incredible come-from-behind victory there from Preston Lions. And a penalty shootout win for Lions FC defeating Perth Glory. This has just been a wonderful from a neutral point of view at least. If maybe if you're a fan of some of these A-League teams, maybe not a good night for you. But goodness me, what a night it has been. Sam says on an early comment, it is really an upset because Perth Glory aren't exactly good. Yeah, well, yeah, maybe it's not a cup set. Yeah, maybe it's not a cup set. That's maybe how some people may view it. Troy says, love these streams. Always so pumped for as always, so pumped for our game. I'm actually buying my membership tomorrow for the upcoming season. Love to hear it, Troy. Brilliant indeed, Chol. Thanks for joining us. Dilosh, thanks for joining us tonight as well. What a night, says Oncoming Storm. Master FUT. See you later, mate. Guys, thanks very much for tuning in. Again, make sure to hit the like button on the way out. We'll have some more Australia Cup live watch-alongs over the coming weeks and months. So if you don't want to miss them, make sure you're subscribed, of course. And consider checking out our memberships if you want to support the channel. Thanks to Tan Lee, to Nick, to all the folks for joining us tonight, and for Nick and Tan Lee for sending in those kind super chats. Troy for gifting the memberships and sending in some more gifts as well. So great night overall. Great night overall tonight. Final recap with those final scores. Lions FC, Perth Glory 1-1. 4-2 in the penalty shootout. 5-1 win for Sydney FC over Bayswater City. Heidelberg United looked very good in their 3-0 win over Cumberland United. And a 3-2 win. Stunning game. Preston Lions defeating Newcastle Jets 3-2. What a night. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Have a great rest of the week. See you in the next one.